Good day, everyone. Welcome back to the stream. Autumn __, you're here. Whew. I was getting worried. You are usually one of the first, and I was like, oh no. What has happened? Glad you're here, though. Glad you are here. Also, yeah, winter. What does Sio? What does that mean? I tried putting into Google Translate, and it auto-detected as Swahili. I don't know if that is the case. I highly doubt it, especially considering it says that Sio means it is not. And I don't think you would say it is not Moonman. So, it means hello. It's short for Osio. Okay, all right. Well, there we go. Well, hello. Glad you are here. Autumn __ says, here looking for just a sec. Been having some really tiring days lately, so won't stay for too long. No worries at all. Sorry that you've had some very tiring days. That's never fun. Is that something that's going to be lasting for a while, or is that just a short thing, just for the next little bit? Hopefully it won't be forever. Hopefully. Cameron says, no mods makes no fun. Welcome, Autumn. __. I almost missed those. Thursday, I definitely won't be here since I gotta play, but Sunday, I will most likely be. Well, there we go. Yeah. I mean, okay, I do ask for the sake of the stream, but I also ask for your own sake. I know that, like, working a ton and being completely exhausted is not fun, so it's mostly for your own sake, but hopefully for your own sake, you won't be too tired for too long. Been having tech week, so should be back when it's done. Okay, all right, there we go. Well, there we go. Well, hopefully when that gets all done, you'll be able to catch up on some sleep, and you'll be feeling better. Hopefully. So... Oh my goodness!
Coolmanchill69 just turned their way into the credits of Tomb of Vercilias.
Coolmanchill. Not bad at all. Well, let's get in here. Let's get you added. I cast name in the credits. It's a great way. It's a great spell. You know what I just realized? I don't know why I didn't realize this, and the way that you said that, Coolmanchill, just made me realize. We have channel mana. Why are we not doing spells? Like allowing people to cast different spells? I'm gonna have to think about this. for a little bit. Have like little effects on the screen that happens when you cast certain spells. Be a good time. All right, Coolmanchill, let's get you in here. Coolmanchill69. Yeah. Also, like I always say, if you'd like your name different in the credits, if you would like it in some other format or spelled differently, different capitalization, let me know. I will put in here exactly how your username is. But if you'd like it differently, let me know. But yeah, congratulations. That is absolutely insane. So I think that means that is what you were referring to when you were going to say we were going to see in 5 minutes. So pretty exciting stuff. Very nice. All right. Well, let's get that saved. And you are in the credits. I might save to put a second name in for my Discord one. Well, there we go. I mean, it'll be there. You may have to remind me at that point, because I'll probably be very confused because you're going to redeem it, and I'm going to be like, wow, congratulations, and I'm going to come over here and click on it and be like, what? You're already in there. So, yeah, when that happens, just remind me so I don't feel like I'm losing my mind. Loki says, really working on this wrestling management sim in Excel, close to a playable version I can send out. Ooh, very nice, very nice. I'm assuming it probably wouldn't translate well to like a Google Doc, would it? Or a Google Sheet? I want to say there's like enough missing things for Google Sheets you probably couldn't do it in there. Because it would be kind of cool to be able to have it playable online. I don't know what you'd be able to do with Libre though. That's really cool. That is awesome that you're so close to a playable version. Very nice. Let's see. Autumn__ says, anyway, yeah, Sunday birthday stream. Wait, Sunday's your birthday? Is that what you're saying? Does not work in docs or sheets, but if you have LibreOffice, it will work, as I have a version for that as well. There we go. Perfect. Well, I'm going to have to make sure that I download LibreOffice so that when you have that done, I can give it a try. Let's see. Winter says, Swahili. Oh no, it's Cherokee. That's what I figured, but I couldn't remember, I guess what would be the proper term? Dialect? What kind of dialect it would have been, and so I couldn't necessarily put it in. So yeah, so it just auto-detected to Swahili. Google doesn't include all the language rules. Sayo, I still have no idea if I'm saying that right, is more informal if you know somebody. Hello. Okay, so it's like hi instead of hello. That makes more sense. Yes, sir. Sunday birthday. Well, Autumn__, we will definitely have a bit of a celebration for you on the Sunday stream. So, it's gonna be a good time. Man. Good old birthdays. Good old birthdays. CEO. Okay, so CEO. That makes sense. I am horrible at you know, pronouncing things, so. But yeah, so Autumn__, are you, do you have any fun plans for your birthday? Any, well, I guess you said you're going to a play, right? I think that's what you said. But any other fun plans? Cameron says, hello, Moonwood. Welcome. Glad you're here. Over here. On Twitch. Glad you're over here. Winter says, no worries, I'm happy to provide phonetics. Well, I need it a lot. Too much, actually. Hey, we got the logo. We got the Tower of Vercilias logo. Frosty Twitch 2. All right. Okay, so, actually, I am going to write this down really quick. Because I know that if I don't, I forget. I need to write down the whole idea that Cool Man Chill gave me. So, mana on Twitch. Cast spells with mana. Screen celebrations, sounds, etc. There we go. I don't know why I didn't think of that before. Like, I literally made it the mana, and I didn't even think to have it be casting. So, Cool Man Chill, you've put a great idea in my head. Frosty is a minimal Twitch client. Oh. Well, I had no idea. I had absolutely no idea. Skew shy. Squishy? I'm assuming that's probably squishy. Thursday, Friday, Saturday, I'm in a play. Oh, you're in a play. That's even more exciting. Sunday, I'll hopefully have a nice relaxing birthday with family, then might do things with friends at some point the week after. Anyway, must sleep now, but I'll be excited to see y'all Sunday. Well, go get some rest, good luck, and we will see you Sunday for your birthday. Should be a good time. I'm honestly surprised this overlay actually understood better TTV emotes. Well, of course it does. It's the best kind of thing in the world. Actually, it really isn't. It is a little janky, but oh well. Oh well. All right, wait a minute. That means that my Twitch client didn't even recognize this. That one. Like, it recognizes it in the chat, but over on my Twitch client, it just says squishy. So that's exciting. Oh my goodness!
Axel_Benedict just shared a whopping 100 bits. I can't stay, as I am grinding nitrin, but I may be back later. Here's a really cool fun fact I found out a long time ago.
Let's hear it.
There was once a nurse who, on her deathbed, admitted to swapping over 100 babies in her life.
I remember hearing about that, and I was like, how horrible would that be to just find that out? You were swapped at birth. Terrible stuff. Crazy people out there. Well, Axel, hopefully you will not have too many frustrating deaths as you are going through. And thank you for the random sound. I appreciate that. Yeah, crazy stuff. And see, look at that. Yeah, poor Hobbs. Wait, poor Hobbs, but did it actually show? Wait a minute. Oh, and also pick a number. Oh wait, what numbers haven't we done? Let's do 88. He's at 88. But yeah, Jonas, it's true. That is crazy. That is crazy. Let's see. What have I missed? What have I missed? I feel like okay. That's what I was wondering. Actually understood. Better TTV. Oh, so it's already gone. Dang it, it's already gone. Oh well. Nope, but you're closer than you think. Ooh, well there we go. Closer than I think. I feel like that could mean I could go in basically any direction. Also, 88 is not greater than 99. Just for anyone who is keeping track, 88 is not greater than 99. So if you're ever putting in 88, do not put it after 99. That's not how numbers work. Let's see here. Happy someone's birthday? Yes, yeah, Winter. It's autumn__'s birthday. So over on the Discord and the Twitch chat. Thank you for keeping YouTube chat on for us normies. I do what I can. I do what I can to make everyone feel included. Oh, piano time. Hey, see, look at that. That is so weird. That is so bizarre that it like recognizes it up here in this chat client, but not on my actual Twitch client. Crazy. Crazy. All right, everybody. Let's jump into this. We've got so much we're going to be working on today, and yeah, it's going to be a big one. It is going to be a big one. So, for anyone who remembers last stream, and if not, we'll just quickly go over it. We finally got the actual loop going of being able to go from in the town into the tomb, and then if you come in here and find room 49, let's go to room 49. Whoa! Got some traps. I forgot I turned the monsters back on. Oh well, shouldn't be that bad to find room 49. Shouldn't be too bad. Let's merge some dice just because. Why not? Come on. Ooh, Blackjack. Sucker. 45. Okay, come on. No. 2015. 2017. Yep. 48. Is that the one? No, 49. Never mind. There we go. We're good. Jonas says, how in the world did my partner, fiance, just fall asleep on the floor? I'm gonna take care of that. See y'all back later. No worries at all. That is impressive. They must have been very tired. Stardew player who stayed out too late. There we go. It's gotta be that. Freaking Stardew Valley and staying out too late and just fall asleep. Terrible. Anyway, and then, so yeah, so you, wait, what did you misspell? Oh, the partner fiance. That's fair. What you meant was fiance just fell asleep on the floor. I got you. And then you can go through the portal and it will go like, woo, and then you can decide, actually nothing happens, but you can decide if you progress to the next level, or you can return to town, and there you go, you're back in town. Just ignore the fact that the dice regenerate. I'm gonna get rid of all of that eventually, but, yeah, we're gonna get there. All right, so we were also working on the Mages Guild. So basically right now what we've got the inn and tavern. The inn is going to be where you can get some quests. You'll be able to talk to a couple people in there. You've also got the tavern where you can play different games, and maybe get some quests. I feel like it'll probably just be quests from the inn, the Mages Guild, the church, and I'm trying to think of one other building we might need. I'm kind of thinking like some kind of town hall or something like that, you know, whoever's like leading the town. And so that'll be here in this spot here when we eventually get there. But yeah, and then the church, that will also be where you respawn if you die in the die in the tomb. I need to stop calling it the dungeon. And yeah, so we'll see what happens. All right, let's see here. Let us see here. I'm also, okay, I know that nobody watching cares. Make sure your video driver's up to date. Oh, that's what. Okay, freaking OBS. So when I stream, I use OBS, and I usually am streaming and recording the video at the same time. Because if through OBS you can like record different audio channels, and so that way when I use the videos later, I can like separate my voice from like the background music, from the Twitch sounds and all that fun stuff. And I tried to go hit start recording, and it popped up an error message, and I was like, what the crap? It's because my video card drivers are out of date. Sad day. Oh well, not the end of the world. We just can't have anything too exciting happen to stream, because then I'll be sad that I wasn't able to record it. And yeah. All right, back to it. So, yeah, so you got the Mages Guild, and if you come in here, I don't have anything here yet, but this is kind of basically the idea is it'll pop up like so instead of going into the buildings, it will pop up just a little window with like a headshot of someone, the person you're talking to, or maybe just like a small peek into the environment of the building. Very like retro, you know, late 80s, early 90s kind of PC game where you don't even want to have tons of different scenes. You just show a little window. And yeah, so it kind of describes what you're looking at, and then you've got your different options. So generally when you talk to people in the town, you will have the talk to the person. And this will be essentially where you'll be able to learn about quests that you can accept. You've got buy and sell, so this will change based on like, so if you go to the inn, you'll be able to rest and heal, which now that I think about it, I don't know. Maybe we'll keep the church, maybe not. I don't know. We'll figure it out as we go. But yeah, so then in the inn, it'll kind of be, there'll be like a rest button. Then there's also in the tavern, there'll be like you know, play games or something like that. And then you've got your current quest option, and this will basically just be you either asking about or finishing the current quest that you are doing for that person. And then here, since it's the Mages Guild, you've got the spell book. That is the next thing we need to start building out. And then you've got the leave button, which will just take you back to the town, and you'll be able to choose the next place you're going. So if you visit the Mages Guild, and if you talk to the old man talks to you, tells you about the stuff, and then this is going to be the default for all of the different buildings. If it's the first time talking to any of the NPCs, they'll kind of have this same general message, and it'll basically just be like, what brings you here? And this is where you're going to be able to choose why you are playing the game. If you're rescuing a sibling, if you are wanting to just get money from this tomb, if you're wanting to go in and kill Vercilias, if you are wanting to just be the town's hero, or if you're wanting to find Vercilias so you can learn from him, you're kind of picking your path. Not that you're going to be locked to that path, but it's just kind of like, this will be like the general idea of like, this is what you are trying to accomplish on this playthrough. So yeah, so if you're just like, oh, I'm looking for my brother, then they'll be like, oh yeah, yada yada yada, whatever. And then, you know, kind of goes back to if you talk to the old man, then it kind of talks about a little bit more stuff, and then you can buy and sell. And if you click buy and sell, it will open up this, which you can then buy and sell dice. You can drag all the stuff over here, and oh, there's a 3, so let's buy the 3. Let's get rid of all the 1s we don't need, and that kind of thing, you know? So that is the general idea, is for you to be able to buy and sell dice, and yeah, and then you can leave, and you can head north to the tomb. I believe it's going to reset my inventory again, because I think it resets every time I go into the tomb, which is not ideal. So we're going to want to change that, which we're going to do probably right now, actually. Yeah, let's do that right now. So I don't think it does it in the main menu. I think it's just the tomb. And it's when it's initializing this. Yes, this right here. Let's actually cut this and move this into if the player model is equal to 0. So basically this section here is stuff that it will only process when we're test playing. Let's just throw that in there. Yeah. That should be fine. And then same thing with the town. Come over here. Yep, there we go. So this should only happen. Yeah, it should only happen if you haven't actually done anything here. Cool. Although we are going to move this out, because so these two variables, this is setting the player's inventory. Maybe. No, this is the player's inventory. Okay, yeah. Now somewhere else, oh, it might actually be, so if we come over here, we go to Mage's Guild, buy and sell. Okay, so we got a blue up here, green, red, blue. Leave, Mage Guild, blue, green, okay, so it's not there. Huh. Where is it setting the inventory of the Mage's Guild? It's got to be somewhere in the initialization, yeah? Okay. This is all just the player stuff, right? Pretty sure. Let's see. For now, this debug strategy will work. As long as we find the bugs, then there's technically not, that is technically not incorrect. You find the bugs eventually. I'm just not sure where. This should just be the player case, yeah. So 9 through 17, that is players' inventory slots 1 through 9. And then 1065 through 1070, that is slots 10 through 15. What purpose do you have yeah. Bringing this heretic to the court of Baal? Speak. Show the player's inventory. Oh, shop spawning. Okay. I literally have a comment right here. I literally have a comment to show that. Okay. All right. Well, then that is exactly what we want. We want it to be when you come into the town, it spawns the inventory for the Mage's Guild. So you got all this stuff here. So it's blank, purple, red. Let's leave, go to the tomb, and let's come over to 28. Easy enough. Let's actually organize some of this to see if it actually stays. Okay, it's organized enough. Blood sacrifice. Go to the town. Now it shouldn't replace all of this. Okay, good. All that's the same. We go to the Mage's Guild, buy and sell, new inventory. Cool. So we should be able to buy out the inventory for anything that's not a 1. We don't want 1s. Let's just do that. Go. Let's upgrade some of these dice. Upgrade, upgrade. Okay. And I don't think you can merge. Okay, good, 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 good. So then we leave and we head north to the tomb. And let's go find room 51. And we'll just run. Sacrifice. Oh, it also healed me. That's fun. I don't know why that's happening, but we'll figure that out eventually. Return to town. Go, we still got our stuff. Visit the Mage's Guild, buy and sell. Cool. All new stuff. All right, cool. Yeah, so that is all working as intended. Awesome. Not perfect, but it's technically working. So I think the next big thing... should we do... So basically, here's what I'm wanting to do. I think with the inventory, we got a couple options. One. Oh, actually, maybe with the inventory, what we're gonna do. So here's what I was thinking. I was thinking we could create a bag where the different colored dice went into different pages. So basically, this sheet would only have red dice. And if you were to pick up a purple dice, it would automatically switch you to your purple dice sheet. So on and so forth, you know, different colors would pull up the different sheets. And so you wouldn't ever have a inventory that looks like this with all the different elemental types in here. It would just be, you know, if you were working with red dice, you'd be just on your red dice sheet and all that fun stuff. But I don't know, like I kind of want there to be that struggle of inventory management, you know? It's not great, but I don't know. Like I thought about maybe trying to expand the inventory like that. Maybe we keep it like this, and then what we're gonna do is in the inn, you will have a room, and there is where you'll be able to access an extended inventory where you can put dice in that inventory as well. It's a thought. It's a thought. Then you've also got, you know, the idea of if you are working in your spell book, which if we come over here to the old spell book, if you're working with a spell book, you could technically just come in here and actually just put dice in your spell slots to kind of also have like a little bit more inventory space. We'll see. We'll see what happens. Mutation Ivory says, evening, may vanish, lurking, but ooh. Welcome. Welcome, Mutation Ivory. Glad you're here. No worries at all. No worries at all if you're lurking. Larger dice, bigger sizes, not more sides since they're all D20. Larger dice, bigger sizes. Do you mean like physically on the screen? It's like the higher the number, the larger the dice. So you have to arrange to fit in a bag. Okay, all right. Potentially. Well, the problem with that is we only have so many pixels we can work with, and so if we make them any smaller, we would have to basically redraw the entire thing, and it would just get more and more difficult to get like details in. So I don't know. I do really like the idea of having like different sized inventory items, like kind of managing your inventory space like that. I don't know if this would be a good game for that, unfortunately. I like the idea though. I do like the idea. But yeah, I think we'll probably keep them the same physical size. Something I did think about doing was maybe even making the inventory not be a grid and actually making it so you like place the dice in here and it would just be in there, like wherever you placed it, that's where the dice would be. I have thought about doing that though. I don't know if it would work though. We can give it a try. But yeah, I do like that idea though. And I would love to make a game like that one day. Where you're like, I don't know if you've ever played like a Backpack Hero or something like that. I mean, obviously, you know, you've got inventory systems like Escape from Tarkov, where as you're collecting things, like each thing has like a different shape and size and you gotta like fit it into your bag specifically. You got games like Backpack Hero, where the more stuff you can fit in your bag, that's how much damage you can do. It's like if you can fit, you know, 2 swords and a dagger between that and like a little, I don't know, something between that, then you do more damage. And so you have to like, you know, rotate and mix and match and merge and all that fun stuff. So yeah, something like that would be fun eventually, but I don't know if it would work with the D20s. But yeah, we could look into potentially just like getting rid of this whole grid pattern and just doing something where it's like, you know, it doesn't snap into position, it just goes where it is and that's where it's at. So we'll see. We'll see. Maybe we will switch up the inventory to be something like that. Yeah. Okay. So, what was the idea? Where were we going with this? I mean, we do need to finish the... Okay, where were we? There we go. We do need to finish the Mages Guild, technically. Oh, that's right, the spell book. We do need to actually get the spell book. So maybe we work on the spell book. I think we actually may need to do that. If it's inventory management, but not grid, consider having more items than the dice, since it's an inventory, not a dice bag. So we probably are going to do something to the effect of... Because I do want to have some kind of inventory more than just the dice, just because it's... what would be the word? I want like quest items, right? It's like when you're in the tomb, yes, you'll be finding the dice, but I also want to have things where it's like, you know, you're finding... I don't know, the skin of an orc, the bones of an undead skeleton, I don't know, the dust of a ghost or something like that. So, I don't know, something like that. But yeah, so I do want to have some kind of inventory. So this may actually get renamed eventually to being something like, instead of being called inventory, we would call it something like bag. And then you would have an arrow here to then like switch between your bag and your inventory. So you can, you know, but the inventory is going to be a different layout than this. It'll probably be something more of just text on the screen. So I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. Noah says, eat the red vines. I don't have them with me, Noah. All right, everyone. Really quick side tangent. It's just a tangent in general. So at work, if for anyone who doesn't remember, Noah's a coworker of mine, and I have been told that if I eat an entire 5.5 pound bucket of red vines on stream, like one sitting, one stream, that Noah would give me, what was it, 10 subs? I absolutely love red vines. I love them. They are great. But let me, for anyone who doesn't know red vines, or like what a bucket of red vines is, this right here, why the freak did I pull up Ace Hardware as the first link to buy red vines? What? Anyway, yeah, this is a bucket of red vines, right? 5.5 pounds of it. Wait a minute, no, okay, this is just 3.5 pounds. Let's see if we can get the 5.5 pounds. Red vines bucket. Gotta be this one, right? Instacart. There we go, 5.5 pounds, okay? This is a 5.5 pound bucket of red vines. Let me just see if I can I seriously not zoom in here? All right, fine, we'll just zoom in the old-fashioned way. So for anyone who can't read that, that says 83 servings per container. Each serving is 3 twists. So yeah, so this is supposed to feed 83 people, right? Now it gets a little bit difficult to see, but there are 12 grams of added sugars per serving. That means, let me just pull this up really quick because I am horrible at math. 12 times 83 is just shy of 1,000 added grams of sugar. That is so much sugar. And the calories, let's not even, like, that is 8,300 calories right there. 8,300 calories in one bucket. The calories, that one didn't really scare me too much, right? I was like, all right, that's a lot of calories. Would I feel terrible for the next probably couple days? Absolutely, I would. It's the sugar. It's a sugar that, like, I was thinking about it today because we've been talking about it for like the past week, and I was like, you know what? I could see myself doing that. I could see myself actually eating a whole bucket of red vines because I love those things so much. But the amount of sugar, I think we calculated today, that much added sugar, I believe, was something like, I think it was like 12 cups of sugar in that thing alone. Not gonna happen. It's not gonna happen, Noah. Not gonna happen. But yes, I absolutely love, and yes, using them as straws, oh my gosh. There is no better way to drink like Kool-Aid and things like that, especially like during like summer months, and you get like a nice cup of Kool-Aid, and you put your Twizzler in there, and you start sucking up the Kool-Aid with the Twizzler. Pretty good. It's pretty good stuff. Absolutely love it. Not enough to give myself diabetes, though, eating that much. Not gonna happen. Do it, or channel point us up. Vines, wires, garden, trellises, same difference. That's fair. 830 calories. Yeah. For root beer floats, I don't think I've ever actually had. Yeah, I've never had a root beer float with one of those. Might have to give it a try. I've mostly just drank like juices and, you know, things like that. Yeah, it's a good way to go. You can fuse red vines with Twizzlers. Well, no. Red vines. I love both. I love both red vines and Twizzlers. And I have used both as straws. Well, cause see, here's the thing. Like you got, cause the red vines are like the big hollow ones. Whoop. I'm sure they don't have a picture of the actual Twizzler itself. I mean, yeah, red vine. Or did I say Twizzler? Did I say Twizzler? But I was meaning red vine. I'm meaning red vines, but I may have said Twizzler at one point in there. But yeah. So those are the red vines right here. These are the ones that I'm talking about. The red vines right here. Yeah, these ones I love to use as straws because they are like thicker, so they're pretty great. Yeah, Twizzlers you can still use. Twizzlers. You can still use Twizzlers as straws. You just gotta get the straws, the ones like this. They're much smaller in the center, but what the freak are all these random sites that it's pulling up for me to order from? On Time Supplies? Like what? Who has ever purchased anything from On Time Supplies? But again, number one result, Ace Hardware. That is the weirdest thing in the world. No idea. Let's see here. Eduardo, welcome. Hello there. Greetings from Brazil again. Welcome. Glad you're here. Glad you're here. Fire, wind, carbon dioxide blower. I do like that one. Was confused for a minute. I feel like I was probably confused for a minute as well. I don't know. To me, I know there's a difference. I have a hard time tasting the difference between red vines and Twizzlers. I know, it's crazy. I don't know. Licorice is licorice to me, especially when it's just this full of sugar. I don't know. I know they are very different. And if I had them like side by side and I was eating one after the other, I'd be able to tell the difference. But if you were to ask me like, oh, do you like red vines? I would maybe get them confused for Twizzlers in my head, so I am weird like that. Necessary office supply. How have you been? Tell me what happened since the last time. I've been doing great. Thank you for asking. I appreciate that. And yeah, since last time, we have actually not done too much since last time, or at least since I'm trying to remember where you left at the end of last stream. So I guess we can just give a really quick recap. We got the loop working for whoops, that is the old safe room. We got the loop working for going into the town, and when you're in the town, you can come in here, you can go to the Mages Guild, you can talk to the old man, you know, say what you're here for, you can buy and sell stuff. So if we wanted to sell some of these dice, and if we wanted to buy some of these dice, and then we can leave there and head north into the tomb, and we're in the tomb now. And then if we were to then go and find exit room 10, there we go. If we do a blood sacrifice, we can then go through the portal, and we can head back to the town. There we go. We're back in the town, and we've got our inventory. We can head back into the Mages Guild, and we can buy and sell, and we can, you know, sell any low-level dice that we still don't need, and we can buy new higher-level dice. So yeah, that is where we're at. Again, I do not remember if you were here for all of that, but that's where we're at. Just says, Twizzler's good, red vine's bad. You're incorrect there. They're both fantastic. But welcome, Jesse. Glad you're here. How's things going for you? Eduardo says, we still need a design like Slay the Spire and Dead Cells to make the game increasingly harder with each run. It definitely will be. So basically the way that it's going to be working is for every level that you clear. So if we come back here into the tomb, and if I hide, I think we just hide this. Okay, yeah. So up here at the top, you can see we're on floor 1. And then room 23 will eventually get rid of the -23 part. This is just to let me know what room I am in so that I can better test things. But yeah, so eventually it will get to the point where as I finish this room, so if I go and find room, come on. Room 5. Just gonna run from all the monsters. Make players suffer. Maybe a little bit, maybe a little bit. Yeah, so as we're going along, so many freaking monsters. Holy smokes. Of course, when I'm just trying to get to room 5, it is just nothing but monster after monster after monster. Oh, there we go. There's the mini boss. Okay. So yes, the idea is if I were to do a blood sacrifice, let's actually hide this again. And if we go through the portal, and then it'll ask us if we want to go to the next floor. We go to the next floor. We're now on floor 2. The general idea is like as you progress on the floors, it will get progressively more difficult. So yeah, it will take some balancing, trying to figure out exactly how much more difficult we want to make it. But that's the idea. And then the idea is when you die, you don't come back to this point. You will then have to go start back from square one, but you will have more dice, more upgraded spells, and so you'll be able to get through things faster. And yeah, so that is the general idea. Is yeah, you can keep progressing. Even if I were to have gone back to town, I would then still start on floor 2. But yeah, so it's just when I die. So eventually we get to the point where the monsters have just so much more health, so much more attack, and I'm not able to actually, unless I get really lucky, I will not actually be able to beat them. And that's when I have to go back to town, and then I will start back on floor 1. But I will keep things like my stats. My inventory, I'm still thinking you're probably going to lose your inventory if you die. So you're going to want to make sure you're going back to town periodically to, you know, upgrade your spell book and all that fun stuff. Yeah, so if you can make it out of here alive, you keep your inventory, and yeah, it's the general idea. General idea there. In my opinion, you should make an option to manually shake the dice. What do you mean? To manually shake the dice. Oh, for like when I'm running? It's like having the dice when it rolls the dice. Make it difficult. I'm going to try and make it a little bit difficult. I'm going to try that. I also do want to add things like I want to add a hardcore mode. So if anyone wants to play and try not to die, there will be a hardcore mode eventually. Yes, that's right. Like upgrades, you get to make other runs easier. Exactly. Yeah. And that's kind of the general idea we're going for is, you know, the farther you progress, the harder it will get. And then once you die, you know, you will start back from square one, but you will have upgraded stuff. And so you'll be able to go through again, and then you'll be getting more and more stuff to upgrade, more experience, more stats, and hopefully eventually get to the end. So that's like the general idea we're going for. Perma upgrades and choices to curse your run to make it harder. We are going to have that as well. So as you progress from floor to floor, or at some point in time, it may not be between floors, but at some point there will be different buffs and debuff cards that you'll pick that will start stacking. So we've actually kind of discussed a few of them. I've written down a handful. Let's see here. Perk / unlockables. So yeah, so we've got things like, you know, let's see. Yeah, so the player ties when the monster the player draw the same amount. The player will now win those. Okay, so we have that upgrade. We have that in there already. And then we're gonna have another one called like Jesse's Luck, provided by our very own Jesse the Fish over on YouTube. So yeah, so you find their skeleton with weighted dice. Yeah. So this is one where you will find someone in the tomb, and you'll be able to find weighted dice that will help you win ties. Let's see, you got this one. So back to the past, you can return down floors with all monsters respawned and all map markers left. Let's see, Pharaoh's unstable box. Sometimes, let's see, you're too afraid to open it. If you die with this perk, revive with 50% health and discard the perk. Has a 1 in 1,000 chance on combat start to instantly kill the player. So, you know, different perks and debuffs that you'll be able to select as you're progressing through the dungeon to also help add a little bit of variety and hopefully pizzazz. We'll see. Let's see, make a curse to blind you for the rest of the run. Blind you? So like, what aspect of the game would be blinded? So like hide the map, or make it so you cannot see any bit of the room? Oh, so you don't know what enemy you're facing, where you're going and such. Okay, we have to balance that, but I do like that. That would be a fun one. Let's see, Jess says it's going okay. Found out I had an old 401k from a job ages ago, so got that sorted out. Very nice. Got some cleaning done today too, and tomorrow I should find out if I get an interview or not. I've got my fingers crossed for ya. So happy to be a corpse. Well, Jesse, I'm glad that you could be a corpse in the game. Eduardo says, we don't need balancing, that's the fun. Wink, wink. Well, there will have to be some balancing, just so that people don't feel like it just comes out of nowhere and smacks them in the face. You know, Hopefully it won't feel like that. All right. So the next big thing we're going to be working on is the spell book. That is kind of a big thing we need to actually get working. So to do that, general idea in the town, you will not have, let's go over to the right section. So you're not going to have the map. We do need the map. We just need to get rid of you, and you. Okay, so this is what it's going to generally look like. So you got inventory. Oh, wait a minute. Hold up. Let's get rid of that. All right. Okay. So in here, this is where you're going to pull up the spell book. Cool. Trying to decide what's going to be best. Because if you remember, let me pull up the old spell book we currently have. That is I don't want the starting position of the boat to be there. I want the starting position of the player to be here. So if you come in here to the spell book, if you will remember, this is what the current spell book looks like. Very generic, nothing that crazy, but it gets the point across, so you know, places to put dice and all that fun stuff. But I wanted to feel slightly different, you know? I do like the idea of the cards correlating with the different dice you have. I do like that. But I kind of want to switch it up just a little bit from here. You know? So, let's figure this out. Let us figure this out. Let's come over here to Photoshop. We're going to do something like this. So this is the space that we have to work with. All right here. Let's see if we can get this. There we go. All right, so we got 736, 348. 736, 348. Okay, that is the area. And then if we shrink this down by 25%, that is the area we've got to work. Not much, but that's what we got. That is what we got. Let's pull up the color palette. And I guess we're going to need this. All right, we're going to need blue, purple, green, and red. Let's just get the whole color palette. Might as well. Transform. Whoa. What's happening here? What the? Oh, there's a single pixel there. What the freak is that? Good. Okay, there we go. Ooh, that was weird. All right, nearest neighbor, let's cut you down to 15%. Close enough. All right, background is that color. Sweet. Eduardo says, make a curse of the fatal spread. Enemies have 10 to 50% chance to revive with X% life. Ooh, I like it. I like it. Let's throw that in there. We go to perk/unlockables. Number 10. There we go. That is going to be in there in some way, shape, or form. Nick says, hello, everyone. Welcome, Nick. Glad you're here. How's, how you doing? How's your week going so far? Okay, so here's kind of the general idea of what I'm kind of wanting. I want something to where you would have basically, so I want something where you've got like, you know, your dice here in the center. Not exactly like this, but something like this. And they'll kind of branch out, you know? How they're going to branch out, I don't know. I don't know, something like, wait, what? My voice is cloning. A double output? Are you sure you didn't just open up a second window? Maybe. Is anybody else hearing me twice? Leave and rejoin. That could fix it. Could fix it. But yeah, so general idea, like I was saying, is, yeah, so you would have, you know, the different dice. Here, you'd have a dice. here, dice here, and dice here. And then as you're upgrading it, it will then be, I don't know. I'm trying to think of how this is going to best work. Maybe we do something like this. So it will fill up kind of like this. So it would maybe branch out, branch. That would then lead into other dice slots. So I wanted to almost feel like a tree of sorts, like a skill tree, a spell tree, if you will. Yeah. Let's see. Now add a hydrate reward, something like that. Nick says, yesterday I had all year geography exam and showed my Arctic and Antarctica presentation. Very nice. How'd that go? Lovely stuff. We'll see. But still, 3 weeks and 2 days and school ends. There we go. It's not bad at all. You're getting there. You're getting there. Every day, you're one day closer. Okay. Oh. I was confused by my own bot. I was like, who the freak is this chatting? The link is not hyperlinked. What? But it was hyperlinked to me. Oh, interesting. Huh. Because of the exclamation mark. I don't know. It's working for me. I might have to look into that and see what's going on. Every second, every minute, every hour, I'm getting closer to the end. Exactly. Gotta look on the bright side. It doesn't for me. It doesn't work for you either, Nick? Well, I'm gonna have to figure that out. I'm gonna have to look into that and see what's going on there. That's not ideal. It should be as easy as just clicking the link and having it work. Send it manually here, please. Absolutely, I can. Actually, let's come over to here. Come over here. Let's come into here. We're gonna go to the server rules. Create invite. Let's, the invitation link expires in 7 days. Never. Grant temporary membership. Generate a new link. Copy. Oh, well, looks like Nick already got it. All right. Perfect. Yeah, so there you go. There's the Discord link for you. All right. So back over here. Wait a minute.
Turned on the Spectrovision and I'm just about to eat that little chocolate mint on my pillow that I love so very, very much when suddenly, there's a knock on the door. Well, now who could that be? I say, who is it? No answer. Who is it? There's no answer. Who is it? They're not saying anything.
Actually, I'm so sorry. We missed the beginning of that one. I didn't realize that I had turned off some of my overlays, and one of them was the voice to the text to voice, text to speech. But yes, I checked in my room and turned on the AC, and I turned on the Spectrovision, and I'm just about to eat that little chocolate mint on my pillow that I love so very, very much. Suddenly, there's a knock on the door. Oh, that's true. I can replay it. Here we go.
Well, I checked into my room and I turned down the AC and I turned on the Spectrovision and I'm just about to eat that little chocolate mint on my pillow that I love so very, very much when suddenly, there's a knock on the door. Well, now who could that be? I say, who is it? No answer. Who is it? There's no answer. Who is it? They're not saying anything.
It's true. Now I need you to add this cat next to your webcam. Maybe. We'll think about it. That's just the just a cool cat. Open image in new tab. Save it as a 0 file. What the what? Hold up. Hold everything. There we go. It's very tiny. Very, very tiny. Come on. There we go. There we go. We got ourselves a cool cat. See, he's down there. He's, right here. Look at that. Not bad. Not bad at all. All right. Okay. So this is kind of the general idea. Is yeah, you would have your starting point and then it would kind of branch out. I don't know what else to do with all this side space though. I don't know. Maybe we have it like branch out even more aggressively. I don't know, we'll see. He's your buddy now. His name is Doritos. Well, hello Doritos. Welcome to the stream. Glad you could be here. Make every card a status. What do you mean? Make every card a status? Oh, you mean like the actual playing cards? Deck strength, intelligence, etc., etc. We could do that. So these are actually going to be linking to your actual like spells themselves. Yeah. And then the skills themselves will be completely separate. I don't know. We'll see. It's gonna be a bit of a mess to try and get it all figured out. Yes, so the blank spaces, it can be status upgrades. Oh, you mean like the sides over here? Potentially. Maybe. Wait a minute. I was very concerned and confused because it was like the auto mod said it held a message for reason bullying, and well, yeah, we're not gonna pull that up, but I know what you meant. I know what you meant. Yeah, they're close. They're close. Anyway, yeah. I knew what you meant though. So wait, okay, all right. So back to what you were saying. So the blank spaces can be status upgrades. For example, if you want to make a vitality build, go for necro. Oh, okay, that's what you're meaning. Yes. So we'd kind of thought about doing something like that. General idea though was you would have to upgrade your stats to be able to upgrade your spells more. So basically, yeah, so your strength would be tied to, or I guess we don't have strength, we've got vitality. So your vitality would be linked to your pyro spells. And so if your vitality was only level 3, you could only go up to a pyro level 3. So regardless of how many dice you put in here, it could only go up to a level 3. And so you'd have to be upgrading your stats as you're going along. I don't remember why we kind of decided to move away from that, but I know that we did. Necro, Water, Swamp of the Dead. I like that. Ooh, that'd be kind of fun. It's going to haunt you forever now. It probably will. Let's see. Yeah, so, pick a number. Oh, that's what you're meaning, Nick. That's what you're meaning by how's the number. Pick a number. Let's see here. Let us see here. We've got... Ooh, see if I can get this pulled up. We're going to go with 85. 85 is the number we're going for. Lucky 85. What do we got there? What do we got? Fingers crossed, everybody. Fingers crossed. Make it so you need to upgrade your own stats, and then you unlock the dice. Then as your first upgrade, so it won't be overwhelming for first players. Yeah, and we might do something like that. again. Because yeah, I something I had kind of thought about we would maybe do would, yeah, so it would be the different elements would be linked to your stats. And so you had to upgrade your stats to be able to upgrade those elements. I think we had kind of like talked about it a little bit, and we decided that it would be a little bit too frustrating. I don't know. Maybe it wouldn't be. Maybe it wouldn't be. I don't know. Oh man, it's not 85. Oh well, we tried. No player wants to be tutorial shoved down their throats. Make it progressive. Well, yeah, and that's what I was meaning. Not necessarily there would be like a tutorial to like be like, hey, you have to do this. Yeah, kind of like the general idea of just like, here you go. Like, you know, I don't know, figure it out kind of thing. So yeah, my goal is to make it so there shouldn't need to ever be a walkthrough, a tutorial. Like, because here's the thing. Like, yes, I understand tutorials are important with some things, but also at the same time, if your system needs a tutorial, maybe it's either one, too complicated, or two, not well designed enough to the point where it just makes sense if you look at it. So, golden tutorial, click the damn info button. And that's what I kind of want to avoid, is having an info button of like, well, how does this work? I want it to be as simple and as just, yeah, I want it to be simple, but also just so intuitive that someone looks at it and they're just like, oh, well, what if I try this? And they go, oh, hey, that did a thing. And it would just work. So that's the goal. The hope is to try and design it in such a way. Nick says, you know that I'm closer to 20 than 10? Man, I feel old, especially with my bones and joints. You're so old. You are so old, Nick. I can't believe it. Closer to 20 than 10? So old. Yeah. Moonman info dump button. There we go. Yeah, if you click the info button, it's just me for the next 20 minutes just being like, here's how you play the game. Listen closely, because if you miss anything, you're not going to be able to play the game. I just go on for 20 minutes. Not a bad idea. And closer to 20, I feel like a dry husk. I know, you and me both, Jesse. I'm definitely closer to 40 than I am 20 already. But it's crazy to think that I am almost, not quite almost, I still have a little bit, but I do have not too long and I'll be able to say I am almost twice as old as 20. I definitely am twice as old as Nick though, that is for sure. Let's see, Eduardo says, yes, because at first glance it feels weird having a map status, dice, dungeons, and cards all at once. Exactly. And that's why I kind of want to slowly introduce the systems. And so, you know, for example, when you come into the town, you could just jump straight in here and you could pull up your dice map and you'd be able to start doing stuff, but you won't have any dice, so it really wouldn't mean anything to the player. And so the hope is that, you know, the general idea is you would maybe talk to a couple NPCs, you would maybe kind of poke around and like look at some things. You would basically go straight to the tomb and you would start killing monsters. And as you're killing the monster, so if I pull this up, oh my gosh, back into the safe room. So if we come over here, so general idea is if you come over here and you head north into the tomb, it's the end of the tomb, and you wouldn't have dice, obviously, those would be blank, but you'd be coming through here, you'd fight the monsters, and I do still need to get it a little bit better here, but yeah, so you'd fight the monster, if we can actually get him, of course not, he had a 20, there we go. So yes, you'd fight your first monster, everything's cool, and then they drop a dice, and you're just like, oh, cool. First instinct, because it's the newest thing on the screen, you're probably going to want to click on it. And if you click on it, well, as long as we have an open inventory slot, it would then snap over into your inventory. And you're like, oh, that's kind of cool. You click it again, it goes back onto the floor. And then maybe for someone, they'd be like, oh, I'm going to click and drag. And it's like, oh, cool, I can pick this thing up. So hopefully the intuitiveness of the game, starting out very simple and basic, would be enough to like just slowly teach people how to play the game. Hopefully. That is the hope. We'll see if that actually happens. But yeah, that is, yeah. Let's see, Axel says, well, of course, Nick is closer to 20 than 10. Isn't he 32? I don't think so. I don't think so. Maybe. I'd be lost, but would figure it out eventually since I'm an epic gamer. There you go. There you go. See, you would not be lost at all because, yeah, you're the epic gamer. You wouldn't be lost. Let's see, Nick says 15. Faux show. I'm thinking of someone way different. I think you're maybe thinking about Loki, maybe? Is Loki 32? Or maybe slightly older than 32. Let's see. Love the idea. Kill the first boss, and then you get dice to do that as well. Hear me out. You should make a massive skill name list so every card combination has 10,394 variations. Oh, dice? That is a lot. But there are going to be a lot of different skill names. We love creative skill names. I don't want a flaming sword named Fire Sword. Exactly. So basically the general idea, and I'm trying to remember, maybe I wrote this down. I may have written this down. Spell names. Name spells. Okay, I did not write this down. But if I remember right, because here's the thing. I think there's going to be something like 85 or something like that, different spell names you will be able to create as you're playing. Because if we come over here to the safe room, and I'm sure someone who's better at math can calculate this way better than I could. But, you know, general idea. Let's see if we can get some better. There we go. That's some better dice drops. Yeah, so obviously, here's your first four, right? So you'd have your fire spell, your earth spell, your water spell, your necro spell, and your water spell. And then if you were to, you know, add a fire dice, it would be some other different fire spell. If you were to add a third fire dice, it would be a new fire spell. And then, you know, if you were to do this combination, if you were to do this combination, if you were to do this combination, if you were to do that combination, if you were to do that combination, if you were to do that combination, and then so on and so forth, you know. So if you did 2 geo dice in here, that would be a new combination. If you did 2 hydro dice in here, that would be a new combination. And so, you know, you have to consider it's that, but then for all of these as well, I think when I calculated it, it was somewhere like 80-ish something different spell names. So, yeah, there definitely will be a lot. And so my wife and I, we were actually kind of chatting about the different spell names last week and getting those figured out. So, yeah, there will be that. But I also am kind of thinking about maybe when you discover a new spell, it will show the spell name, but it's going to say that you discovered a new spell, and then it will allow the player to name the spell, but it will like pre-fill with the spell name that has been picked. So that way, if the player wants to go in and rename their spell, they could. That way you're, you know, using your own spells if you'd like, but if not, you can just use the defaults. Yeah. Does placement matter? I kind of wanted it to, and then my wife was like, absolutely not. It should not, because then it's going to get way too complicated. So I'm going to say no. Because I'm going to have it set up to allow for different placement is different spells. It's like, as you can see now, it's a Pyro, Necro, Pyro. And if I were to switch this, it is now Pyro, Pyro, Necro. So technically it could matter, but I think what we're going to do for simplicity's sake is it shouldn't matter. It's just going to matter how many of each dice you have in the slots, regardless of where they are. So yeah. Let's see who gets the calculation first. Is it going to be Nick or is it going to be Eduardo? Let's see. Jesse says, as far as I can tell, I'm the closest to 40 than the rest of the server. Well, maybe. I don't want to assume anyone's age. I think we've had a couple people come through here that were slightly older than that. But I could be wrong. Yeah, I feel like I'm just a hop, skip, and a jump away from 40. I'm almost 6 years away from 40, which is crazy to think. That does not feel like that long. Axel says, hey Moon Man, could I ask you something that you can absolutely say no to right now? Sure. I suppose so. Now I'm all nervous. Yes, absolutely. What is up? My Axel of the Benedict. All right, so let's get some of the actual assets in here and see if we can start getting a general idea of what this is going to look like. Let's grab 1, 1, and 1. Speaking of Axel, got our good old classics starting to play. So 25%, copy that. Okay, they are also going to be slightly larger than the little boxes that I drew. Not too much larger though. It shouldn't be the end of the world. And it doesn't even necessarily need to be something like this. I actually have different ideas. And maybe we'll kind of vote on which one we feel like we might like more. Axel says, I need gameplay of Lemonade on Main Street for posting my music. And since there's 4 songs and another 4 with the rain, I may need enough unique gameplay to cover them all. And I don't have my PC currently. Oh, so you just want me to like record some gameplay for you? I can do that. I can 100% do that. Is it okay if it happens tomorrow, though? I should have time tomorrow to be able to get that for you. 124 dice combinations if I did the math right. That sounds about right. Roughly. I would say. Yeah. But yeah, so there's going to be a lot. There's going to be a lot of different spells that you could potentially discover and create, and hopefully that'll also be kind of like a fun thing to do, as well as like discovering spells. And eventually we are also going to add a like achievement system. And so not only is it going to be, kill, however many monsters and things like that, but we're also going to be like discover 50% of the possible spells, discover 75%, discover 100%, all that fun stuff. So hopefully for any of those like achievement hunters out there, you can also 100% the game achievement wise, as well as beating the story, as well as finishing all the side quests and all that fun stuff. It's maybe going to be too much, but I'm having fun with it. So we're just going to keep going and hopefully should be a good time by the end. All right. So let's actually just do this. We're going to do, design 1. So this is the general design for design 1 is, you'd have your dice. Let's get these centered. Maybe we go like 20 from the top. Get that centered there. Let's do 1, 2. Centered, 20 from the bottom. Okay. Yeah, so something like that. And then we would have... Yes, these are the dice. Dice. Axel says, oh yeah, as long as it's before Saturday. Okay, yeah, well, I definitely should have it before then. My hope would be tomorrow. Yeah. I'm gonna aim for tomorrow. That's what I'm gonna aim for. Okay, so what if we tried something different? What if we tried something like let's get rid of this. I should just get rid of all of that. So what if we do goes up like this and then over. So yeah, so you'd have a line there, a dice there, a line there, a dice there. And then how would we have these other ones? So you would need to be kind of general idea the same way, but reversed. So you'd be line there, dice there, line there, dice there. And you'd be line here, dice here, line here, dice here. I don't know, that doesn't feel quite right. Yeah, not quite right. The first die can't be moved. No. So the dice in the starting point, yeah, that will be set in stone. That is always going to be there. That is like the starting and the foundational dice. Yeah, so that one can't move. That one will be as it always will be. These other ones, these outer ones, can be moved and swapped out. So everywhere? I don't know what you mean by everywhere. It can't be moved everywhere? I don't know what you mean. But yeah, so general idea is, so even here on the current safe room we have, these dice here, they will always be there. You can't pick them up, you can't move them. You can though, so if I pick up this guy and if I move this over here, you can merge it though, so that it'll upgrade here. But yeah, but you can't swap these first ones out. So yeah, so these ones are set in stone. In every instance. Okay, yeah. So those are like the foundational starting points of like, these are your pyro spells, geo, necro, hydro. Then you can mix and match these other two, which is kind of why I'm wanting to go for something a little bit more. Whoop, that is not what I want. Something a little bit more of this, where it's like the center here is locked, and then everything else can be moved. So we'll see. Just to the math again, it would be 84 total. That's fair. 16 unique, 2-sided ordered combinations, 64 unique, 3 dice ordered combinations, or 1 dice. See? Yeah, so still, it's a lot. It is a lot. 84 different spell combinations is a lot. Better than 120, that is true. Yeah, not quite as many spell names you'd have to come up with, but it's still a lot. I don't know why I cannot figure out how I'm supposed to have this laid out though. So this is going up and over. This should be going, well, yeah, but it's just not the same. Okay, so maybe that's not gonna work. So maybe we stick with the original idea that we had, and that was it kind of branches out. Oh crap! Kind of branches out like this. So yeah, so it just kind of goes in like a V shape. Oh man, all right, so it goes in like a V shape. Outward from these, and then you got your different dice here on the edges, or the absolutely horrible shapes. I cannot shape. So yeah, so something like that, the general idea. Now make it 4 slots. Go to the internet and get tree roots and base your skill tree on that. Well, so here's also the other idea that I was kind of thinking, which actually would kind of feed into the making it 4 slots. So the general other idea I was thinking, so that's design 1. Now if we go over here to design 2. So this general idea is you would have you have the starting dice here, and then you'd have green, blue, and purple. And then you would have this kind of like branch out like this. Green would branch out over this way, blue over this way, purple over this way. Kind of making it more of like an actual tree, kind of. And then you'd have 1, 2, 3, 4. And over on this side, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Have the dice kind of hanging down here. Oop. So yeah, so this is kind of the other general idea I was kind of thinking. And I don't know. Maybe. I mean, I kind of like the idea of it. Kind of like branches out a little bit. And so, yeah, so basically what it would do, maybe we'll attach these for some reason somehow. But yeah, so it would kind of go like this. And the general idea is the further out ones, so like say for example, you know, with let's just go for these ones for example. With these ones, these would just be blank slots, so just kind of grayed out, you can't do anything with them. Until, say for example, let's grab that color. Say for example, once you get a level 5 dice in here, and so it would kind of be filling up as it's going along, and then once you reach level 5, this you could then put a dice in here. And then either whether this one becomes a 10, or once this one becomes a 5, that is an absolutely horrible 5. There we go, close enough. Once this becomes a 5, then it would be, you know, filling this up as you're leveling up either one of these dice, and then it gets to this point, and then you would also then be able to fill this one in with a new dice, so on and so forth. And so as you're going along, you would be able to fill these in. So as you're upgrading these initial dice, it's then going along and allowing you to actually fill in these other slots. So that's the kind of other idea I was thinking about, going with something like this. And then, you know, obviously, you know, if you were to put in a red die here, and once you got that up to at least level 5. Now again, keep in mind, this is an at least level 5. It doesn't have to be, you know, doesn't have to be anything greater than that or anything like that. So long as it gets to a level 5, you then unlock the next dice slot. And you could put in a blue dice here. And then there you go. And then once this becomes at least level 5, you would then be able to put in, you know, you could go back to having a green dice. Put in another green dice here. Wait. This would be blue. And then this one would be green. If you put in a green dice. Yeah, so that's the general idea. Is something like that. Maybe. Oh man, let's see here. Oh, I've missed so much. Go to the internet. Okay, so I read that one. Nick says, isn't it just base 4 system with 3 numbers? So like 4 to the power of 2 plus 1 to the power of 1 plus 4 to the power of 0. So if you have 0 to 3 dice per card, there's 35 different unique setups. If you want to know how many unique setups you can get with all 4 spells, it's 792. Yeah, exponential is absolutely nuts. It's just 4 times 4 and 4 times 4 times 4. 4 squared for 2 dice. 4, whatever that would be. Or 3 dice. Repetitions are allowed and they're mutually exclusive. Currently I'm writing if I had 5 minutes, and I'll send it on Discord. There we go. Yeah, it is a lot. It is a lot. So we could go with something like that. I think I've maybe pulled this up before. Let me pull this up really quick. I know that I have this saved. I know that I have it saved. I just need to see if it's still in here somewhere easily found. Gosh, freaking. Let's see. Game design. I think it's in Tower of Vercilias. So I've got a couple different things, right, for my ideas. Where would it be? Where would it be? Actually, let me just pull up a couple different ones really quick. So we've got this. We've got this. Oh, that was another idea. Okay, all right. I was gonna say that I didn't have it. I found it on Pinterest. So yeah. So here's one. Here's one I was kind of thinking. Yeah, so almost kind of something like this. That could get out of hand really quick. But yeah, general idea would be, let's do new. It's gonna be design 3. So yeah, so general idea would be you would have almost kind of how this design is, you know. So you'd have your center. We'd have your dice here, right? So 1, 2, 3, 4, and then it would kind of do the branch out, but then they would kind of come in and they would, like, I don't know, cross over and convolge onto another dice there, and another dice and another dice. But then you've got way too many dice, and that just gets completely out of hand. So yeah, so maybe something like that, not actually going to work. All right, never mind. Scrap that one. Next one up, though, would be something kind of like, and now that I'm looking at this larger, this is definitely just AI generated, but something kind of like this. So you kind of have like it would be less tree-like, but yeah, something like this where like you've got the starting points, and this is more if we were to do like skill types. I don't know if we're gonna do that for this game. I don't think we're going to. But yeah, something like that. Could also be another one would be something like this, where it's more of like, you know, things kind of like start getting intertwined and I don't know, something like that. The one that I wish I could find, which I don't know why I cannot. I know that I've saved it, and I'm like 99% sure that I've saved it in here. Where would you be? Well, I mean, here's another example of one. So kind of something like this, where it would be, but this one's more of like, you know, you have like your starting dice, and we could even do something like this. We have like a starting dice in the center, and then we kind of like branch out in like a couple different ways. Again, that just like, it just becomes too much, you know? Yeah, too much. So something like that, though, could be a potential. The other one that I am considering, that I have in my mind, I wish that I could find it, but I cannot for the life of me. I'm like so sure that I saved it though. So I was like, that, like the look and the feel of it, I was like, this feels really good, but I wish that I could find it. Okay, there's another idea. Just 2 seconds. If anyone is joining fresh right now, I apologize. I am looking at a thing off screen. Where is this thing? There it is. Okay, I found it. All right. We found it. We're good. So this is kind of like the general idea that I was going for, is something like this. Let's see if I can just open that in a new tab. Whoa! Yeah, something like this. So yeah, I guess not even necessarily you would need the dice in the center, but you can kind of see where we were going with the design too. Where it's like you got the center thing here, kind of branches off into a couple different things, left and right and left and right. I don't know, something like that. I feel like could be pretty decent. Something else could be pretty decent is this right here. Having some kind of book where it's like you'll have like the 4 along the bottom, and then as you upgrade, you'll kind of build up. Maybe something like that, or maybe starting on the top and going down. What was the other one? Oh, that was that one. Okay. Well, what are we thinking? Oh my gosh, what have I missed? What is going on here? What have I missed? Currently I'm writing 64 different combinations when placement matters. I would send it here, but it'd be a visual pollution. That's true. That is very much visual pollution, even though it's a held message, and it's held because of the letters NGG and NHG. Kind of weird. I don't know why Twitch would hold it for that. All 3 dice combinations. Let's see. Els Dragoon, what's up? How's it going? It's going great. How's it going for you? Also, I apologize if you came in as we were pulling up all those different things. I swear, we're paying attention. We're just trying to get different ideas for our spell book. Go to Discord to the off-topic channel. Let's see. Not so bad. It's on the server. Combinations, so you got to make it easier to make the skill names later in. I think my wife actually had something like that built out. But yeah, it's a lot. It is a lot. Let's see, Jesse, what did you say? Who knows how long ago? As far as I can tell, I'm the... Okay, yeah, so I read that. Well, this dried up husk is a little sleep, and remembered I have a vet follow-up appointment in the morning, so I'm going to head out and lay down early. Well, Jesse, thank you for being here. I appreciate that. Go get some rest, you dried out husk, and we'll see you on the next stream. Hopefully you'll be there. Good luck. All right. So, yeah, okay. I'm actually... I mean, I kind of did like this one. Yeah, I think this one looks really cool. I'm actually thinking it's not quite what we're wanting. I almost feel like maybe something like this is more of what we're wanting. Maybe. Eduardo says, all right, now off to bed I go. Thanks for your company, you all. Thank you for being here. I appreciate it, Eduardo. Go get some rest, and yeah, we'll see you on the next one on Thursday. I hope. Hopefully you'll be here. Skill tree is interesting. Make it so you can modify later. Well, yeah, this is definitely all subject to change. It's, yeah. I mean, the last time we built the skill tree, I thought that was going to be the final one. I was like, this one feels good, looks great, we're sticking with that one. And now we're redoing it here. So, you know, it happens. It happens. Yeah, go get some rest. And I appreciate you being here and for all you do. All right. Yeah, I kind of think we might go with something a little bit more like this. Now we could maybe even go with something like this. Maybe. Okay, that looked a little bit different in the little thumbnail. So basically, what I saw in the thumbnail. Okay, yeah, that's still kind of what I'm seeing. So the other idea, the idea we could go that I saw based on that thumbnail, design 4. Would be something a little bit like this. And this is kind of almost going back to the original that we had, which is basically you would have your dice here, and then you would have a bar that would kind of run along here, and it would, you know, fill up over time. And then once you hit a certain mark, you would have another dice here, and then that one would have another bar, and it would fill up. And you'd have another dice, and that would fill up. Yeah. The only problem here, I guess it's not really a problem, because you're just getting to this point to then be able to, okay, actually, yeah. Ooh. Okay, so then we could move this over to here, and then we could have the big number here to say how much damage it's doing. So, you know, if you're doing 21 damage here, you know, let's say this one's doing 10. This looks absolutely horrible. And this one's doing 10. This one's doing 1. So yeah, and then we would say something to the effect of, once you reach level 10 on here, it would then unlock the next dice slot. And then you could just keep upgrading this one and it would still increase this by that much. And then you jump in here. Els Dragoon says, what's the point of the dice with the skill tree? Yes, so the point of the dice with the skill tree. So the way that the combat's going to work, I cannot... You're gonna have to forgive me. I can't remember how much you've been here while I've explained in past streams. I know you've been here before, but I cannot remember what I've actually explained in the past. So I'm just gonna really quickly recap so you kind of have a general idea of kind of what's going on. It's in the general pitch, but the dice bits elude me a bit. Yeah, no worries at all. So yeah, so basically the general idea. So you've got the dice, right? I will hide the chat really quick just so you can see a little bit better. So yeah, so you've got the dice, right? And this is like the old safe room that we had. So this is where you would have been able to buy and sell dice. So let's just say, for example, you were to have gone through the tomb and you collected all these dice. You would have your spell book, and so right now each card does 1 damage because everything has a 1 elemental dice, or like a level 1 elemental dice attached to it. So, okay, let's see. I feel like I'm jumping ahead of myself. So normally with cards, you have the different suits. You know, you've got hearts, diamonds, clubs, so on. So instead of having those suits, they're going to be correlated to different elements. So you've got fire, earth, necro, and hydro, or water. And general idea is that will kind of be what is pulling from to deal damage. I am explaining this so horribly, and I am so sorry. But yes, so based on which card suits you draw, that's how much damage it's going to do. So let's come over here to the tomb. Let's actually come over here to town. So yeah, so if we go into the tomb, and let's go find a monster. So we found a monster. We have drawn we've drawn a pyro card, and we've drawn a hydro card. So let's just say, for example, each one of these, they are doing 1 damage each. So if I attack, which I can't because I don't have high enough. So if I draw one more time, so there we go. I now have a necro, a pyro, and a hydro card. So since I have 1 of each, it's going to do 1 damage plus 1 damage plus 1 damage. So it's a rough representation where you can kind of see how much here on the HP bar it's going to deal damage. And so if I were to attack, it would then do 1, 1, 1. Yeah, and then as you are going through, so like with these dice, you could then come in here. So if I were to leave the tomb, and if I were to go back to the town or wherever I could upgrade my spell slots, if I were to come into here to the spell book, and if I were to put a level 1 pyro dice onto the pyro slot, I'm now doing 2 damage. So if I were to then draw a fire card, a pyro card, it would then do 2 damage every time it hits. And so on, so on and so forth with all the other cards. So, each Geo card that I draw, each Earth card that I draw and attack with, it would then do 4 damage. So if I drew, let's say, for example, if I drew a 10, a green 10 and a red 10, it would then do 4 damage plus 2. So, let's see. Okay, why are they dice though? You don't roll them. So the reason why they're dice, and this is going to be, yeah, let me just pull this up really quick. So the reason why they are dice is because of the original concept for Tomb of Vercilias. So let me scroll down here just a bit because I've got to go all the way back to roughly December-ish. There we go. Tower of Vercilias. So this was the original idea that I had for this game. Everything was going to be dice. So your attack, your health, your defense, your magic, the monster's stats, everything was going to be D6s. So this was the original idea. There was going to be no blackjack, none of that. This was the idea that popped into my head one day last December-ish, and I was like, maybe this could be kind of fun. And so I started building the game based off of this. And I'm sure you can see it has some similarities. It's not exactly the same, but relatively close. And then from there, I then was like, well, the D6s don't feel quite right. What if I made them D20s? So then I started making them D20s. And if I open this up again, if I come down here and we go to right here, this was kind of the second attempt that I started doing for Tomb of Vercilias, and I switched it to D20s. And this is where it kind of started taking a little bit more shape. It was still strictly dice, and that's why they played such a large role in the very beginning, because it was strictly just dice that was going to be to actually do everything. It was going to be all the stats, and so every time you attacked, your attack stat would go down by 1. And so you needed to constantly be able to regenerate your stats. And so with this one, if I were to attack and this went down to 19, it would have done 20 damage. But then after that point, it would only do 19, 18, 17, 16. And so I would then be able to take any of the blue dice that I had, merge it into this one, and it would increase by that number. And then eventually it branched out, and I included the blackjack element, and we've gotten to the point where we are now. And so I wanted to keep the dice because I was like, well, that was kind of the foundation of the whole thing. But I was like, it just doesn't make sense for the stats, because I'm like, because at that point it's like, well, now you can only max out at 20 health. Now you can only max out at 20 attack, 20 spell damage, 20 defense. Same thing with the monsters. I was like, the monsters, even if you go up against a boss, you can only fight a boss with up to 20 health. So I was like, I was like, the stats for the dice, it just wasn't working. So I was like, well, let's just make the health not be related to the dice. And so I eventually switched that. And I was like, let's make the attack not related to the dice. And so I switched that. So anyway, so that's kind of why it got to the point where it just turned into the dice. Now the role that they play is you collect them, you merge them, and then with those dice, you will then be able to upgrade your spell book to be able to deal more damage. So that is the reason for the D20s. So you don't roll them. At least not in this example. You know, obviously, you know, if I were to pull this up and if I were to go up against a monster, if I could go in here's the town. So there are aspects and times where you will roll dice, and I will definitely be adding more. Like if I were to run, you would roll for a dex saving throw, and so I'd have to roll above X number to be able to get away from him. So there will be times where you're rolling dice, but as far as like for stats go, not necessarily anymore. But yeah, so that's kind of the origin of the D20s. Is I'm mostly keeping them because that was the foundation of the game, and that's where it started. And so I'm kind of like keeping that because I'm like, well, this is where we started, and I'm still trying to keep some of those things. So yeah, that is there's your history lesson for the Tomb of Vercilias, where we've come. So from here to there to there, it's evolving, and hopefully not backwards. I feel like the concept of dice equals random, but all your dice are spin down dice could just be counters. Is the word dice confusing? I don't know what you mean. Got it. That makes sense, sort of. That's fair. That's fair. Yeah, and maybe, I don't know. Maybe I don't necessarily have to keep the dice in the capacity that I am. Maybe. But anyway, that's kind of the whole idea of why they're here, why they're doing the thing they're doing, and yeah. Hopefully that makes sense. Also, I don't know why I'm holding this, but I am. Okay, so let's see. Oh, wait. Okay, so you're saying they look like D20s, but they've only been 1 through 3. Okay, I see what you're meaning with that now too. Yes, so they all have been like 1 through 3s. That is because I'm just telling them to only be 1 through 3s. They can go up to D20s though. So you just have to merge them to make them higher. So, you know, if we were to merge all of these, you've now got a D4. If I were to merge these, and if I were to get another 3, I could then make another 4, which could then make a 5, and yeah. So that's kind of the, and maybe it's not actually going to be a fun mechanic. The reason, one of the bigger reasons why I am also keeping it is because like my first YouTube short that kind of went like semi-viral, I say semi-viral, it's got like 35,000 views or something like that. It's like, it's not like anything crazy. But for someone who only has like 820 some odd YouTube subscribers, it was kind of crazy to see it, suddenly get, like whatever it was, like 20 or 30,000 views. So, yeah, so that's pretty viral. Well, especially considering at the time, I think at that time I still only had, I think my like on average, my shorts were getting like 200 to 300 views per short. And I was also, I think at that time I also only had about 150-ish subscribers. So I was like, okay, cool. Yeah, so the short was all about, and I'm not going to play the whole thing, but yeah, in general, the short was all about, oh, hey, 837. We're getting there. But yeah, so it was all about, so if I sort by views, it's probably still my top viewed. Okay, so it's not still my top viewed. That one has 35K. I don't know why it's at the top. Anyway, yeah, so general idea though was, yeah, it seemed like everyone was pretty excited about how I was explaining how the D20s would all work and like all the merging and all that fun stuff. And yeah, so I was like, well, if people were excited about it, then I should probably keep it in there because people seemed excited about it. So that's another reason why I'm also keeping it, is because I'm like, well, if people want this system in there where you can actually merge the dice, I'll keep it in there. So anyway, hey, look at that. There's the old spell book. As you can see, we're kind of potentially going back to it. Yeah, good times. Anywho, well, let's get back into this. Let's come back over here, and yeah, let's continue on our way. Also, I hope that kind of answered the questions. I know it's probably not the best. I want to make sure I didn't lose the wheel on my chair. I know it's probably not the best reasons for keeping the dice in the capacity that we are, but I don't know. We'll see. And again, like, this isn't the only game that I'm ever going to make. Like, I'm going to make this game, and when it's finished, I'll put it out there, and then we'll move on, do another game. I'll probably switch up some systems, make something different. But for this one, I'm like, we gotta stick with the systems we have. That's what we've built, and I don't want to change it too much, because then it's just going to be kind of like starting from square one, which I feel like is something we've kind of already done a few times, which is not great. So, yeah, I've reset things a little bit too many times, and it's just seems to be delaying things way too much. All right, so let's jump in here. I'm actually kind of liking Design 4. It's kind of going back to its roots, but yeah. So general idea would be, let me see if I can. So we got the dice here. Let's pull that out of there. Actually, we got Design 1, Design 4. Okay, so we've got Design 4. That is something I need to check actually, though. Can I stack the dice all on top of each other and not have it break things? So if I come over here and I put the dice, let's go like 2 from the top. This one is going to be 2 from that one. This one's going to be, nope. This one's going to be, actually, I know that's right. That's right. Okay, so we still have 5 pixels left. So I think we could do something like this. We could do 3 apart. There we go. Zach says, I have returned. Welcome, Zach. Welcome back. Glad you're here. How's life going? What resolution are you targeting? Technically, I am targeting... Well, actually, all right, never mind. Technically, I am targeting... Let me get this pulled up. 1280 by 720. And then divided by 25. Or 25%. So yeah, so the resolution I'm targeting is 320 by 180 pixels. So so everything here would technically be that resolution, right? But I'm upscaling it by 400% so that it technically falls into the 720p resolution, so 1280 by 720. But yeah, so this is the resolution of the screen. So yes, yeah, so the 320 by 180 pixels. And then, like I said, I upscale it so that it's actually larger and can actually be playable. But yeah, so trying to go for that very pixel look. And the idea is I'm trying to, even though I'm upscaling it, even though I'm going up to 720p, I'm still trying to keep everything pixel perfect. So that, like, regardless of what it is. So the text, like, so any of the fonts, anything that I place, I want to keep in that pixelated grid. There are a couple exceptions that I've made just because the text looks a little bit wonky when I do it the way that I do it. I don't change the text size, nothing like that. I will just kind of change the position of where the text is once I upscale it. But because I'm keeping it all the same, like pixel perfect size and things like that, you don't really notice it. And that's the biggest thing, is I'm like, I don't want you to notice if I make any changes like that. Yeah, so, but I do try and keep it at that resolution. So it's like, you know, because like, say, for example, with the dice, as you can see, this one is off center, right? Which I would say would probably be more of a detriment to people that, you know, might have, what's it called? I almost said ADHD. It's not ADHD. What is it when like, if something's not quite right, you want to like fix it? OCD, that's the one. Yes, OCD, thank you. Yeah, I feel like that would be worse for people with OCD than just shifting it over a little bit. So eventually, you know, when I were to come into here and if I were to say upscale this to 400%, basically all I would do, so instead of changing the font size itself, I would just come in here and I would just move that over 2 pixels and then I would, you know, fill this in. So yeah, it really doesn't change that much, but it just centers it just a little bit. So those are the exceptions that I do make. But everything else, like every single pixel that I draw is going to look like this. So you know, this is technically 1 pixel here, even though it's technically 4 pixels, I see that as 1 pixel. And I will never change that. I'll never be like, oh, but it would work so much better, you know, if I did something like this. It's like, yeah, could I smooth out the dice if I were to do something like this? Yeah, absolutely. But it's like, it's no longer that like pixel looking look to it. Anyway, there's my long answer to your very brief question. Sorry about that. Zach says, I finished my finals and have graduated middle school. Just waiting for the actual graduation ceremony. Very nice. That is super exciting. Congratulations. Not bad at all. Not bad at all. I feel like you're going to have well, Nick, if you're still here, I feel like you're going to have a very jealous Nick. Because Nick, you still got like 2 weeks of school left, right? Before graduation. Kinda sad. But congratulations, Zach. That is super happy. I will raise a glass. I will raise a ghost to you and your graduation. Congratulations. Els Dragoon says, makes sense. I've been doing Playdate Dev, and that's like 400 by 256. Similar. And NES is 256 by 240, which is also similar. So I get the low pixel UI design game. I have wanted a Playdate so bad. Like the first time I ever saw one, I'm like, I need one. And then my cousin got one, and I'm like, I need one. And I still haven't gotten one. But yeah, he's made a few things, and it seems like a lot of fun. So that's awesome, though. Have you just kind of been like tinkering around with it, or have you actually gotten anything released? Either way, it's a good thing, but it's quite a feat if you could actually get something released. Nick says 3 weeks. Okay, I thought it was like, maybe I'm remembering wrong, but you're getting there, Nick. You're getting there. See, if Zach can do it, so can you. Nothing released. I'm an artist, so I'm using it to learn to code Lua. That's fair. That is fair. Well, I feel like that's a good platform to learn on. Okay, so here's the idea. Oh, that actually works perfectly. So there are 3 pixels between each of the dice and between the top and the bottom. There we go. Fantastic. Yeah, so you would have the dice. And then, general idea would be, you'd then move over, I don't know, 50 to the next one. But these are all going to be, let's see, so that is that. Let's do something like this. Yeah, that should be good. That should be good. Well, Els Dragoon, if you are an artist, then I would like to sincerely apologize for, I'm sure, the horrendous horribleness that you have to watch as I attempt art. I am not an artist, but I do what I can. I try and get through with what I can. Okay, yeah, so the general idea is it would be something like this. Control says, hey yo! Have you always streamed on Tuesdays? First of all, welcome back, Control. Glad to see you here. And always, I think so. Yeah. Pretty sure. Yeah, it's the Thursday that I switched around, because I used to stream Sunday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and then I realized that on the Wednesday stream I was just way too tired, because I would stream on Sunday and stream till a little after midnight, and then I would have to wake up super early for work the next day. And then on Monday I would have game nights with my brothers and uncles, and I wouldn't go to sleep until past midnight. And then I would have on Tuesday the stream, and I wouldn't go to bed until past midnight. And yeah, so by Wednesday, I was just freaking exhausted. So I was like, you know what? We're going to do Sunday, Tuesday, Thursday. So, but yes, Tuesday, I do stream on Tuesday. Lost track of your schedule, I guess. Been busy with life, but still. Wait. Been busy with life stuff, but I'll be around a bit more often. Well, that's fair. Well, I'm glad you're here. Glad you're here for today. Hopefully it's been good busy with life stuff. Yeah, glad you're back. Hopefully everything's going all right for you. Getting too old for all of that staying up. I am getting way too old for all that staying up late kind of stuff. It's not good. It's not good. I'm an old man. We were actually discussing ages not too long ago. Yeah, it's not great. Do not get old. If you're young, do everything you can to avoid getting old. Terrible stuff. Els Dragoon says, nah, this game looks cool. Thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah, it definitely helps when I'm able to put as much time and effort as I have been able to into this. I'm glad that I don't have a schedule that I have to adhere to. I will say that. Like, I absolutely love being an independent game creator, that I don't have any set schedule. I don't have anyone breathing down my neck being like, we need to release this in 2 weeks right now. Like, it would just be absolutely terrible. So obviously I want to get this out sooner rather than later, but it is much nicer just to be like, I can go at my own pace. If something doesn't quite work, or if the art isn't quite working, I can just scrap it, go back, retry. And yeah, so good times, good times. Loki says he used to stream at lunchtime, but he just had to get a job and change things. I know, it's terrible. It's terrible. Don't worry, Loki. I'm doing everything I can to make sure that I can one day eventually stream during lunch again. I'm still a very long ways off. Don't get me wrong. It's probably going to be another while. I have no idea how long, but it's a while before I could actually replace my current job with streaming. So, but one of these days, the goal is to eventually have that happen. When will that happen? Not a clue. One of these days. And then you'll be back to your regularly scheduled lunch streams that you can enjoy. What time do you start on Thursday? So I start at the same time every time. So 8:30 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. So whatever that time would be for you. But yeah. So Sunday, Tuesday, and Thursday, same time. I tried to keep the time consistent so that it wouldn't be too much out of people's schedule. I don't know. But yeah, so I have the schedule on Twitch, so I think that will adjust based on your time zone. So if you just kind of take a look at that, it should adjust. Should probably actually check on that. I have not checked on that in a very long time. I hope that is still, let's see, channel. Schedule. Gosh, freaking Windows. Okay, yeah. Yeah, so it should have it on there, just kind of showing where we are, what we're doing, all that fun stuff. Cool beans. Wait a minute. $8.25. What the freak? Why does it say $8.25? And then 8:30 to 12:30, 8:30. I have no idea why it says. Oh, it's because I started the stream at 8:25. That makes more sense. I was like, I do not start streaming at 8:25. Why would it say 8:25? That makes so much more sense. Anyway, yeah, so 8:30 is when I start. I usually start the stream like 5 minutes before, just so, people can get in and all that fun stuff. That's perfect. We end at 8 p.m. PST. See you Thursday. Well, Els Dragoon, thank you. Yeah, I appreciate that, and it'll absolutely be fantastic to see you on Thursday. Oh wait, is that you signing off? If that's the case, thank you for being here. I appreciate it. If not, then I'm glad you're still here. Still doing the dishes. Okay, fair enough. Well, I will not distract you anymore then, so you can do the dishes without having to feel like you're doing some dishes, drying your hands, responding, doing some dishes. So, thank you for being here. I appreciate that I can be your dishwashing background noise distraction. Whatever it would be. All right, so let's actually hide this. I think this should be all right. I think. Pretty sure I'm the one distracting you. Maybe just a little bit. Just a little bit. But that's what I'm here for. If I didn't want to be distracted, I wouldn't be streaming. So that is the dice. And then we've got the bars. The gold bars. Okay. I think we do, yeah, maybe 4 pixels high. I think that should be good. Trying to decide. Look, says, just got the rating system for the matches finished with some added chaos. Ooh. I always love some added chaos. And we have match history, so it saves each week's matches. That is even more impressive. I like that. That is really cool. Man, Loki, you are just cruising through that development. That's crazy. Okay, so here's what I was originally kind of thinking. Well, okay, let me just pull this up really quick so you can see from, so we've got the dice and we've got the bars. We can actually pull that out from there. Let's get rid of that. Dice, bars, design. Okay, yes, there we go. So as you can see, this is kind of how I had it. So I would have the progress bars at the base of where the dice are. Doesn't work as well since the dice have this kind of shape to it. And if I put the bars here, I feel like that just looked weird. I don't know if I want them centered. I mean, I guess we could center them. It's not the end of the world. Yeah, that's not too bad. Okay, so then the other idea is if we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, all right. We do something like that. But if that's the case, we can then slide these over and in like that. Is that going to be too cramped though? Maybe. So that is this color of gray. So if we make it a darker gray, yeah, I think that should be all right. We would move the dice in again. And the bars, we would copy that. Okay. Let's see here. Zach says you can make the start of the bar thicker and slowly shrink it down when it gets further from the dice. Let's see. Oh my gosh. Sorry, I'm having a stroke here. Gets further from the dice if it being centered isn't too pretty. Also helps discerning which dice the bar is for. Okay. So if we were to do something like... something kind of like this. Kind of what you're thinking? Something kind of like that? We could also do... yeah, kind of. Yeah, I'm like... the way you're describing it, I can see it in my head, but I'm trying to figure out how to, like, put that onto the screen, you know? Freaking... I got like this bug bite on my arm, and every time it like rubs against my shirt, it stings. It's not fun. Just, you know, there's a random tangent for you. Let's see, Loki says, and we have match history. Oh, I read that. Yeah, friend at work is like, how is it that you say, I want to try X, and then like an hour later or so, you're like, and it's done, check it out. That's true. I feel like basically every single stream, you come in here and you're like, all right, so this thing's working, or this thing's done. And it's just like, okay. Again, it was like quite literally, what, like a week ago, week and a half, maybe 2 weeks max. You were like, we were kind of chatting about the RPG made in Excel, and you were like, I feel like I could probably do something like that. And then like the next day, you're like, oh yeah, by the way, like I have this movement thing down. It's like, oh, that's cool. And then like the next stream after that, you're like, okay, I have this, I've got this whole other concept going on. And yeah, you're nuts. You're crazy, Loki. And I love it. So another thing we could do, kind of going with what you're saying, Zach. Let me actually just pull this up. Let's get this back to where it was. Oop. Go. So yeah, so make the start of the bar thicker and slowly shrink it down when it gets further from the dice if it being centered isn't too pretty. So I kind of think something else we could try, and maybe this kind of goes in line with what you were saying. So if we maybe start here and here, and then we go like 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 1, 2, 3, 3. Two, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 3. Yeah, that's what I initially meant. Yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking you were meaning, was something more like this. And that's kind of what I was thinking in my head a little bit more too. And I was like, but I was trying to get it to work on the bottom, and I was like, no, that's not working. So, I do kind of like that. I'm trying to decide. Um, I do like it. I don't know if it's quite the way that I'm kind of thinking though. I do like it though. I think we might use this design somewhere else, potentially with like the enemy HP bars. I could see that working pretty well for those. Yeah, I think for these, probably what we're gonna do is we're just gonna center them, kind of just go like this. Whoop. Yep. Yeah, I think we might just stick with that. Yeah, I think so. But I do like that idea. I do like that idea, and yeah, we'll probably use that again with the enemy HP, where it'll kind of be almost kind of like the Halo shield bar in like the original Halo, where it's like it's what was it? It would start larger, and then as it went on, it like kind of shrunk, like got smaller, and then continued. We might go with something like that for the HP bar for the enemy. I do like it. Yeah, I think this one probably might work a little bit better here. Yeah, I think with the enemy HP bar, I think that would work really well. Maybe even with the player's HP bar. Maybe. Some might say I'm an ideas guy. Loki, I feel that to my core. I feel like I am very much so the exact same way. For better or worse. Sometimes my wife hates that I'm the ideas guy, because I'll start on something, and she'll be like, I really like that. And I'm like, cool, thanks. I'm going to continue working on it. And then like 2 weeks later, I'm like, so what do you think about this idea? And she's like, I liked the other idea. Like, why aren't you working on it? It's like, I'll get to it. I'll do that later. But what about this new concept? And she's like, yeah, I guess that's kind of fun. And then I'll work on that for a couple weeks. And then I'll be like, what do you think of this new idea? She's just like, stop it. Just work on one thing. And I'm like, I can't. I don't know. This is by far the longest I've spent on a project. I'm going to say that. So, yeah. And I know that I've said this before, but it is quite literally just because I'm streaming it. Like, I am 99% sure I would have given up on this project months ago if I wasn't streaming it. And if I didn't know that other people knew about it, I'd probably be like, you know what? It's not working quite right. Scrap it. Start from scratch. So, thank you all for being here. And, indirectly holding me accountable for actually finishing this project. Zach says, dude, exactly like me too. Just keep making new ideas and half baking them. Yeah, it is, I would say it is a blessing and a curse at the same time. Like, I absolutely love how quickly and effortlessly I can have these new, sometimes crazy ideas that pop into my head. But sometimes it is the curse, because you're like, ooh, what about this new idea? And you like start working on it, and you're like, that's kind of fun. That's kind of cool. And then a few weeks later, you're like, ooh, but what about this other idea? So, you know, it's, that's where you just need to be like, okay, write everything down that you thought of. And then if you have to come back to it, you at least have everything there. But if nothing else, you're like, okay, I've got all these ideas. Let's work on this one, and then try to actually get through it. That's the problem. That is the problem. Loki says, so the kiddo wants to make another game, so we'll be working on that soon. There you go. Not bad, not bad. Okay. I think that gives us a good general idea. Now again, I don't know. I'm trying to decide what's going to work best, you know? For the actual design. Okay, so here's... I should probably explain what I'm actually talking about and not just, you know, spewing out the things in my head that I'm trying to think of. So basically, the idea is I'm trying to figure out what's going to be the best way for me to show all of this on screen. Obviously, the dice, that's easy enough to do. They're just going to be images that I will be using. These bars, though, because here's the thing. The bars are going to change based on what dice you have here. So obviously, this one will always be red. This one will always be green, always be blue, always be purple. But if you were to, let's say, put a green dice over here, this would then need to be green. Right. You know, based on the levels, so let's say it's a level 5. So you do something like a little bit of this. There we go. And then, you know, let's say, for example, this one is a level 10. Let's do something like this, which is great. It's level 10. But if this becomes a level 11, how are we going to handle that? Are we going to have this, then fill it, whoa, this, then go here, and then this one will go up 1? No. I don't know, maybe, because here's the thing, is I want you to be able to, if you have a level 20 dice here, I want it to be able to unlock this and this dice slot. That's what I want. And so maybe it does actually have to increase past this. Yeah, I think it has to. I don't know if it makes much sense to do something like that, but I feel like it just, yeah, I feel like it kind of has to do that. Okay, yeah, I think that's what we're gonna do. I think that's how we're gonna have it work, which is fine. Like that'll be all right. Yeah, so as these increase more, it'll then push these up further. Okay. So I guess technically you don't even need this bar here. It's not actually working toward anything. Or do we have a 4th dice slot here? We might actually have a 4th dice slot here. Yeah, maybe actually. All right, well, yep, that's I think that's what we're gonna do. Is we're gonna have a 4th dice slot here. It's gonna add to the amount of spell names we need. A little bit more complication, but I think it should be fine. I hope.
Thanks for the follow, Just a Cabbage Addict.
Well, thank you, Just a Cabbage Addict, for the follow. I appreciate that. Welcome. How's your evening or day going for you? Okay, so I think this is the design we're gonna go for. I mean, design 1 is kind of fun, but Design 2, I don't think that works out at all. Design 3 kind of just hit the fan before it even took off. So yeah, I think this is gonna work best for design 4. Yeah. Yep, that's what we're going with. Just a Cabbage Addict says, hello, it is good, how are you? I'm doing absolutely fantastic, thanks for asking. Yeah, just living the dream, working on a game, and drinking Swedish Fish Ghost, so Can't complain. Cannot complain. Oh my. I know. It's great. Absolutely fantastic stuff here. Didn't know that existed. It is probably, if you enjoy Swedish fish, probably the craziest thing you will ever experience. Because it quite literally tastes like you took a bag of Swedish fish, melted it down, and you're just drinking Swedish fish. So, if you see it in your local grocery store, I would highly recommend getting one, because holy crap, it is amazing. Yeah, really good stuff. Probably not very healthy, but it's really good. I enjoy it. Okay, so that's that. Now we need to actually see, do we have room for text? That is the big question. Let's find out. I'll set this to a 5 point. That is not what we want at all, but why is that so large? Oh, I think I know why. Okay, yeah. First of all, I'm on the wrong font. Set this back to my 3x5. I think what I accidentally did is I left it as at a 300 resolution. Oh well. All right, well then, let's bring this down here. Whoa. Okay, so yeah, so 1 point is not quite right. What was it, 0.95? Even that's not right. 1.5? Nope. 1.25? That's the one. Gotta switch that resolution back at some point.
Chemistrinic says, when a Swedish kid starts speaking in his language and the furniture starts assembling itself.
Exactly. That was a good one, Nick. I like that. Okay. So originally I was thinking we would just show the damage here, right? Or even just like, but yeah, it could be like damage, 21, whatever. But we need to have the actual spell name. Where are we going to put that? So we can go here, and then how many lines can we do? Test. Ooh, okay. So 1.25, 1.3, 1.4. All right, 1.4. Cool. Okay, all right. Axel says, I was busy, but if you picked a number, I didn't hear it. I did not pick a number, but if you're ready, I will definitely pick a number right now. Let's do You know what? Let's just keep with the well, no, let's do 81. 81. Everybody cross your fingers. Cross your fingers for 81. So I think we would then set this to 1.4. No, that is not what we want. 1.3. 1.2. Okay, that's better. 1.2. Nope, but I'll let you pick another one though. All right, good. Good. All right, so let's do 83. 83. Fingers crossed. So help me if I skipped over it. I feel like I have a knack for just like skipping over unintentionally when I'm trying to guess things. Let's come over here. Let's actually set this to 1.5, 2, 3. Nope. 3. 1. 1.5. Close enough. Okay, so that gets us centered in this dice area. That's good, that's good. If you're in chat, text something really quick. I mean, I am in chat. Hi. I do be in chat. I'm everywhere. You can't get rid of me. I don't count? Oh. Alright, never mind. I thought you were meaning myself, not... I didn't think that was an open invitation to people in the chat. Okay. Because yeah, we do need a spot for the for the spell name. And I think that should be enough. 2 lines of text. So you can be like a thingy stuff. That's not gonna work. That is not enough space. You can't even type fireball. I mean, you can. It's just very cramped. So maybe we don't do a 4th. Yeah, maybe we don't do a 4th. Because yeah, we need enough space for not only to say how much damage you're doing, but we also need space for the spell names. Yeah. Alright, alright. Oh my goodness.
Axel_Benedict gifted a tier 1 subscription to Chemistrinic.
What? I got the number right. Well, there we go. There we go. Good heavens. Thank you, Axel. I appreciate that. And congratulations, Nick. You've got a you got yourself a 1-month sub. Congratulations. Can't believe I finally got it right. Took a while, but I got it. Do the dice icons need to be displayed as dice on this screen? That's definitely eating space. Yeah, so basically the general idea will be, so you'll have your inventory on this side here. So this will be what the screen looks like, just, you know, minus this part here. This is going to be getting replaced with this whole setup here. So yeah, so general idea is you'll have your dice over here, and then you'll have the spell slots here, and then you'll take dice that are over here and move them over to the space. So you'd basically be placing these dice into these empty spots, and that's how you like upgrade the dice. And so you'll be upgrading these dice by merging similar numbers into these spots. Then you'll also be placing new dice into these spots to like mix and match the different spell types. I'm trying to think of the right word. The different elements. So, yeah. So it does need to be there. I think what we're going to do is just not do 4 dice. I think we're going to do just the 3. That's kind of what we've planned on doing anyway from the beginning, was just the 3 dice here. So, I think that's what we're going to do. Right, but they don't need to be represented with actual large dice icons unless you just want them, of course. I mean, yes, I do kind of want them on the screen, so you can actually see what's going on. So if we come over here to the safe room, kind of the general idea over here as well was like, you know, if you go into the spell slots, you had the dice here on the screen like this. So it is getting lined up just a little bit different than this. You know, we're going for a line instead of this cluster. And that's kind of where we were thinking about going with the different designs, you know. So we had design 1, which was more of like this whole, you know, you had the dice clustered here in the center, and then they kind of branched out into the different spots. And kind of with design 2, you know, you had them again in the center, but in a line, and then the lines kind of branched off from there. Good old sound effects. And then, you know, we eventually kind of landed on this. New cards. These are actually the very, very old cards. So this is what they used to look like 2 months ago. So, yeah. This is a very old design. I will say that. Very old design. But yeah, this is definitely what the cards... That is what they used to look like. Yeah, this is what we've currently got, which I like a lot more. I feel like there's a little bit more character to them. So, anyway, yeah. Okay, so yeah, I think this should be good. I think it should be good. Axel says, oh wait, Axel says every Friday I'll pick a new number for you to guess that week. Oh, okay. I like it. I get paid Fridays and can easily set aside money. Well, actually, you don't have to do that, but I do appreciate that. Thank you. I will happily keep guessing numbers. If you're okay with it, I'm okay with it. Zach says, all right, I'm going to go do some gaming. I almost had homework. I'm going to go do some gaming with the boys. See y'all later. Thank you for being here, Zach. I appreciate it. Go have some fun gaming, and we will see you hopefully on the next one on Thursday. So, good luck. Go get them. We're just going to pretend I didn't say that. That was weird. All right. Okay, so if we move this over to here. 3, 1, 2, 3. That just feels too short. Oh my gosh. Oh, I'm so indecisive when it comes to designs. So indecisive. It's terrible. We could make these bars slightly longer. Could do that. $8 a week. That's what. One time I get 2 kolaches instead of one at the donut store down the street. Bad as it is. I highly doubt it, but yeah, I do appreciate it though. Thank you, Axel. I do really appreciate it. But don't ever feel like you have to. So, yeah. 2 instead of 3. Oh, you get 2 instead of 3. Okay, that makes more sense. Loki says, oh yeah, I put it in the Discord, but also it's your bi-weekly reminder to get your free fab assets. Don't forget, everybody. I already went and got them, so I'm ahead of the curve. I know I'm quite healthy. I'm just silly. Yeah. I was going to say, you're probably way healthier than I am. I need to be eating less things, especially things like kolaches. I need to eat way less things like that. I'm definitely the heaviest I've ever been, and I need to fix that. I need to work on that. I need to lose a little bit of body fat, so. I mean, if you remember from last stream, I did like 15 push-ups or whatever, something like that, before that, like right before the stream started, and I was winded for the next like 10 minutes after that, so I need to do better. There's definitely room for improvement there. All right, I'm going to drink some actual water.
Also get your free Epic Games games. Tiny Tina's Wonderland, a $60 game, is free for the next day.
That's true. Yeah, if you haven't gotten any of the free...
Axel_Benedict just redeemed Streetch.
We got some Streetch going on. Yeah, if you haven't gotten the free games from Epic, I would highly recommend it. There are some really good ones that go on, I was going to say sale, but they're free. And yeah, I'll have to pull it up after the stretch. Here we go. And the other way. Oh, this is a good stretch.
Chemistrinic just redeemed.
Oh my gosh, another stretch. Well, y'all know what that means. It's time for another stretch. Oh, it still feels good. Oh, this is waking me up. Probably more than the caffeine. Oh, okay. Whew. Double stretch. I like it, though. I like it. Ooh. Anyway, yeah, I would highly recommend getting the free games from Epic because it is crazy, like how big my library has gotten with just getting free games. Like, let me pull this up. Library. Get rid of installed. All right, I'm pretty sure I should be able to see my library. Yeah, 526 games. Keep in mind, I think I've purchased maybe like 5 games on Epic ever. And and I have 526 games. So, would highly recommend. Now, I will say, for the most part, most of the games that are for free, not great. But, I mean, I got GTA 5 for free, Jurassic World Evolution for free, Cat Quest, Tiny Tina's Wonderland. So, you know, great stuff. Some great stuff. A lot of games that I would probably have never purchased, but I've got them. So if I ever got super bored and I was just like, what am I going to play? I've got a lot to choose from. Yeah. On Payday 2. It's a good one. Anyway. Okay, cool. These next few games are going to be bangers. They're hidden. They're usually not. That is true. Yeah. Yeah. For the last few, they've like had them hidden, which usually means they are going to be really cool games. I'm excited to see what they are, which is going to be, I guess not tomorrow, but the next day, Thursday. Yeah. Thursday is when they refresh those. So Control says being able to do 15 push-ups as a white-collar worker probably puts you ahead of the curve. That is true. That's true. A lot of the people I work with probably could not, so that's a good point. Ooh.
GTA 5 free on Epic in 2020 saved my life during the pandemic. If they didn't do that, I never would have met one of my best friends, and I would have gone into a very deep depression living alone over COVID.
See? There we go. There we go. It all worked out in the end. Well, I'm glad that it helped you out so much. Pretty sure 15 to 20 would have winded me when I was doing construction full-time. In a row, at least. Yeah. And it is still one of those things that I'm like, I want to do better, so we'll get there. Eventually. We'll get there. Mind you, I met this friend on Fortnite. Oh. That was still, though. Fortnite is a good place to meet some good people, too. Sometimes. Other times, not so much, but sometimes. So maybe, what if we do this? 10? And then 10. That might be too much, but we'll see. So I'm also kind of thinking maybe we get rid of this whole line filler thing and we just fill it in like this. I think that's probably what's gonna be best. I mean, the lines are kind of fun, but meh. Yeah, when it comes to design things, I'm sure that people have noticed that it takes me a while to decide on designs. And even when I do decide, I'm usually like, let's change it. Let's switch it up. For better or worse. It's called iterations, and sometimes you just have to iterate again and again and again and again to eventually finally find exactly what you're trying to do. Let's bump that up to a 2, so we can just go straight across. Go. Straight across. Cool. Yeah, I guess with the push-ups, I wasn't expecting to be as winded as I was. So I think that's what threw me off the most, is I was just like, you know, not that I expected myself to be able to do a ton of push-ups, but I was like, I was like, I should not be this winded for just doing a few push-ups. So I think that's really what got me. I was just like, what is happening here? Could alternate a darker shade if you wanted more detail. Might be easier to read increments of 1. That is true. We could do that as well. Yeah, we do something like, so if we pull this up, switch this back to a 1. So right now we have this set to the lightest red. So if we go 1 shade darker, yeah, we could do something like this. I do kind of like that. Kind of fun. And is this the lightest green? It is. So go 1 darker. That's kind of a good time. For sure, I find sets of 5 to 8 are easy to do a bunch of, but 10 to 12 plus gets my jimmies a bit jammed. Eye conditioning has never been great, though. Yeah, when it comes to a lot of repetition, that's when I start to fall apart. I'm good with short bursts. But to be fair, that's how I've been with like basically anything. Like running, I am horrible at long distances, but short sprints, that's my sweet spot. Okay, and same thing here, except for that it is going to be this one. Maybe we go one lighter here. No, so I want this to feel like it's very much so not filled in, you know? That makes sense. Maybe that's too dark. To be fair, I've actually been considering redoing my color palette just slightly. So I feel like I don't quite have the right colors for a lot of situations. So I almost feel like I need to maybe redo my color palette just a little bit. We'll see. Yeah, I think that feels all right. I think that feels pretty good. Nick says, I posted the spell count in Discord. It's visual. Ooh. Well, I suppose we can jump over Discord really quick. Take a little peek. What channel is that in? Ooh, media? What is media? Man, so many things in here. So many new things that I just never know what's going on. Off topic? Okay. Here we go. Off topic. I am so sorry, everybody. I'm going to go back up here and read through everything again. Okay, so we got that from Eduardo. I missed any repeat. Tell me. Oh, I see what you're meaning. I like it. Very nice. Yeah, it's, there's a lot. There's going to be a lot of them. It's going to be fun. Wear blue. There's 4 colors. Oh, yeah. Dark one. I thought that was empty because there's an empty single and double. Oh, yeah. Because you've got the 3 hydro, 2 hydro, single hydro. Yeah. That is a lot. Yeah, I appreciate that, Nick. Thank you. Thank you for putting all that together. And then Loki, I believe you were kind of talking about your stuff. Where would that be? Wait, community projects? No. Create a corner? Maybe I already saw it. If not, let me know. I feel like you had mentioned that you'd posted something else. Let me know though. Yeah, very nice. Yeah, it's gonna be a bit to handle. So I do think. Oh, you haven't posted. Oh, that's right. You were just saying that your updates were almost done. That's right. Just a Cabbage Addict says, phone dying. See you all next time. Well, thank you for being here. I appreciate it. Hopefully you'll be able to get to a charger soon. And yeah, we'll see you on Thursday. I don't know why I raised my I don't know why I raised that at you, but I did. My post I talked about. Oh, that's right. You made a post about the fab thing. Then you were saying, because I was thinking it was directly related to your Excel project, but you were just saying that it's. Never mind. I'm just going crazy. Okay. All right. Here we go. So I think that should work a little bit better, being just the 3 more over to the side. Yeah. And then that should give us enough room to do stuff like this. If we do Fireball of Great Dying. Yeah, I think that should be all right. That should still leave us there. I'm actually kind of thinking we might do something like this. Let's cut that. Put that down there. And there to there. Let's do 1.4, 1.5, 1.8. There we go. Oh dear. Okay, all of this, set this to 1. 1.2. Okay, wait. This is 1.4, and then this one needs to be 1.8. 1.6. There we go. That's what I'm talking about. Okay, so that's better. That's like that. Cool. So now you've got Fireball of Great Dying, because, you know, that's gonna be a spell name. Cool beans. Now I think what we could do, maybe, I don't know if it's gonna look good, but we could do something like this. Grab this, and then we come over to here. Nope. It's there to there. Fill this in. Let's just do like 25%. Hide that. Maybe. Implying the existence of Fireball of Lesser Dying. Exactly. There'll be a Fireball of Great Dying and Fireball of Lesser Dying. Yeah, no, none of that matters. I don't need to worry about spacing. This is literally just an example. Okay, so that is that. So then let's say we were going to do this. This is going to be darkest green at 25% opacity. Here, darkest blue. And the darkest purple. I don't know, something like that. Kind of general same idea, you know, it'd be something like a giant rock. Yeah, something like that. Ah, man, I don't know. Axel says, and then 3 pyros is just, I don't care how big the room is, I cast Fireball. Yeah. The Great Flush. Is that going to be for Hydro, the Great Flush? There we go. See, the only problem is trying to make sure the spell names are going to actually fit into this, right? Because, you know, we could do the Great Flush. Would have to be Flush. Flush. There we go. But then, if we were to try and do something like this, and then if we did, I don't care how big the room. Yeah, so it's, I mean, I know, Axel, you are joking with the name. It is a funny name. I do like it. Yeah, it will be, the spell names will have to be somewhat shorter. I mean, that would fit. We could just do IDCHBTRIICF. Oh, then here we go. And then at the bottom, in parentheses, it's just, if you know, you know. There we go. Can you give them tooltips? Then you could abbreviate. We could do that as well, yeah. And it'll just be a matter of, you know, if you were to be hovering over it, it would then give a tooltip. We could do that. I think we should have enough space for the spell names. Because again, I mean, you know, here we've got, you know, you can do like Fireball of, and then something else. So we don't want like crazy long names anyway. You know, anywhere from like 2 to 3, 4, maybe 5 words at most. So I think this should be okay. Is it 100% what I was hoping and thinking of? No. But it's close enough, I feel. I feel like it's close enough to get what we want. And if later down the road we replace it with something else, fine. But for now, I think this should be just fine. Yeah, I think this should be all right. Should be all right. Nick says, I recommend you listen to I Cast Fireball by Dominic Witka. Fireball! Now there's a good song. And drink. If you've never put Fireball in hot chocolate, I highly recommend it. It's fantastic. Fantastic stuff. Throw that away. All right. I think that gives us a good idea of what we're going to be looking at here. So let's hide all that text. Let's, for the dice, it's also good in cider. Never had it in cider, but I could imagine so much that it would be. Whoa, that is not what we want. We want to copy, paste, move that over to there. Fireball of main villain's name. Well, if you're going to use the Necro Tree, I'd elect Undead's Embrace. That'd be a good one. I do like that. Trying to get like a general empty feel for what we can add in here. We also don't have to have these be color. We could just do something like this. If we do third darkest, let's fill those in. Whoop. Down here, fill. And then if we do darkest and do 25%, nope, 75%. Yeah, that should be fine. All right, so I think that should be basically the blank layout of it all. So if we delete, merge down, merge, copy that, come over here, do a free transform from here. Let's go up to 400%. Go. Okay, get rid of that and that. Yeah. 8 and 4. 4. Actually do this. Switch over to squares, 4 pixels. You. Cool. Yeah. Yep. There we go. Let's see. Axel says, I've never had any insider. Out of context is hilarious. I'm still looking for out of context clips. I feel like they happen fairly often. You just gotta be listening for them. Nick says, I'm not using them for my benefit. I'm creating jobs for guards and knights. 3 necro. Now there's a spell name I can get behind. What was the main villain's name again? The name of the game? Oh yeah, Vercilias. Oh, is that what you're meaning? Fireball of Vercilias. That's what you're meaning. Okay, that makes more sense. Fireball of Vercilias, yes. Okay. Let's see here. So if we do, I'm actually now just realizing we should probably do this darker one here. Yeah. Okay, cool. All right. So that's the general look that we were going to go for. Let's come down over here. We want to put this into the center section. Safe room. That is the old safe room. Card area, POV. So in the POV, we're going to move this down to here, and this is going to be spell book. Oh, that's that. That is that. That is that. Okay. Is it pretty? No, not even close. But it'll get the job done. Okay, so let's go over to down here. Town 3 UI? No. Town 1 UI. Town UI 1. Okay. Let's copy that again and paste that again. There we go. This is what the Town 1 UI, Town 2, Town 3, Town 4. This is going to be Town 5 UI. Over here on the town. And in Tavern, Mages Guild. So in here, this is the Mages Guild. Enter the Mages Guild. This song is definitely a banger. Wait, this one? Or one before it? I think it might have been the one before it. Vercilias. I cast Fireball. Grabs 2 torches. Stands aggressively, spinning with them. Fireball of Vercilias. That's how you do it. You got talk. Current quest. Spellbook. This is what we want. When you release Spellbook, we want to then show picture. Town UI 5. Okay. Ooh. I feel like starting on a project like this at this late is going to be very interesting, so you're gonna have to bear with me. I know that we can get it. It's just gonna be a lot. Okay, so show the image. What needs to happen after that? We need to erase image layer 39. Yeah. So erase image layer 39. What's going to be showing down at the bottom? We're probably going to just have a save button. We could also have all of this stuff here. So let's copy all of this. Oh, we also need show. Okay, yeah. So down here, so you click on the spellbook. We're then going to do. Let's actually just get rid of all of this for now. Because eventually this could be the instructions on how to use the spellbook. I cast Fireball, but it's just me teleporting you to the sun. Now that is the most effective Fireball you could possibly have. All right. So then option number 5. I guess just save. Be a good way to do. Yeah, we'll just say save. That's going to be how you, like, move back out of this thing. And then we don't want to turn on Safe Room Shop. So that's switch 44. We want to turn on Safe Room Spellbook. That is what we want to turn on. Okay. So then we go over here to the safe room. A dice move, animations, naming spells. Okay, so this is safe room spellbook. Yes. So over here in the town, we should have the dice move. And this is safe room spellbook. Oh boy. Fire slot 1, 2, fire slot 1, 1. So this is where we're going to have to redo all of these positions. Shouldn't be too bad, honestly. Yeah, that shouldn't be too bad. So we're able to use basically all of the exact same logic. It's just we're changing where we're putting the dice. Yeah, so it shouldn't be too bad. So if we come back over here, this is going to be the fire slot 1-1. So it just needs to be if the... Oh.
Me, a Dex Monk fighter, 30 feet down TG hall, yelling fireball, activating a scroll of create large fire as an intimidation tactic.
It's terrifying. Okay, 520. 520. And 572 and 92. 572 and 92. For anyone who may be new here and watching, this else handler right here, this conditional branch, is just getting the X and Y coordinates of where the mouse is to know if you're actually in this spot right here to put the dice down. That's all that is. Okay. Cool. Now, what do we need to do? So over here in the safe room, when you click on quest info, shop spawning, show player inventory, show shop inventory, spellbook. So turn on rename spells. Oh, we gotta turn those off too. Okay. Erase pictures. This is showing all the dice. That's a lot more than I need to do. Okay, that's fine though. That's fine. Let's just grab all of this. Copy that. And over here in the town, we just need to say, you click on, nope, so it is over here. Yeah, so over here, you click on spellbook. This is what we need to do. So it shows the image, so it erases 39, shows the image, changes the dialogue, turns that on. Okay, so let's paste that. And then we need to say, turn on rename spells, turn on safe room spellbook, turn off shop and quests. Send down here, get rid of that. We're just gonna keep these. We shouldn't need them. We're gonna keep them. Gonna keep them anyway. Actually, did I take this into account? Oh my gosh. Take me to the town. So in here, if we do, this is the Mage Guild. Oh, I also didn't make it so you can actually get to the spellbook. Oh my good heavens, I kind of did. Oh boy. That is, that is not what I was expecting. Okay, so buy and sell shows all of this, and if you leave, it does erase all the pictures. Okay, I mean, that's exactly what we want it to do. Oh, that's right. It's because I freaking did the whole thing. So when you click on leave, turns on erase pictures through. That's right. Okay. 61 through 75. So I should be able to replace this with the other thing. Yeah. So we're going to erase 50, 51, 52, 53, 54. Okay, so 61, 62, 63, 64, 65, 66, 67, 68, 69, 70, 71, 72, 73, 74, 75. Cool. So starting at 61 through 75. Get rid of all of these. Go. Okay, yeah, awesome. Okay, now, what else do we need to do? We need to not show safe room 2. That is not what we want to show, so get rid of that. We just want to show town UI 5. Shows that, changes all the dialogue options. Rename spells. And then turn on safe room spellbook. So if I come over here, it should. There's a mage guild, spellbook. Okay, so it is showing these correctly, but we need to change where these are actually showing. We just need to rearrange these. Easy enough. Rearrange this text. Yeah. Not too bad, not too bad. It's a general idea.
Chemistrinic says,
Chemistry Nick. Nick, what are you doing? You can't call me a Neanderthal and just get away with it. Apparently that it considers that bullying. Neanderthal. Well, there we go. Okay. I think if I do allow, and then I replay it.
Chemistrinic says,
Nope, it will not. I will read it aloud for you. Chemistry Nick says, Fireball is just big flame, you Neanderthal. You think it's intimidated, but you think I'm intimidated by this? 2 seconds later, trapped by mages in a cage, surrounded by them, ready to cast Fireball. I'm not changing my mind. Gets burned to a crisp. There we go. Well, there we go. Now we know Neanderthal is apparently considered bullying. Good to know. Good to know. Sometimes the things with Twitch, I don't even know. I don't even know. No one really knows. Axel says, hey Moon Man, did I ever tell you about Commander Magic? Like Magic the Gathering with commanders? If that's the case, I do know about that. But if there's something different, then maybe not. Alright, so this image needs to show at 536 and 56. 536 and 56. So we come in here, come down to here. Show this. 536 and 56. I believe that should change that dice. I believe. Let's take a look. Let's see what happens. Is the guild, spellbook. There we go. Shows it right there. Fantastic. Now I believe it's gonna keep. Let me think about this actually. So over here, scroll down to the bottom. So we got all these if statements. Show image. 204, 204. Okay, so it does them in order. That would make sense. Nick, what are you trying to do? Oh, you're just trying to say Neanderthal again. Yeah, I don't know why. I don't know. But yeah, so I do have to go in and approve it. Held the message for reason bullying. Allow this post. I think is the you in you Neanderthal that's banning the message. Well, so it has the whole you Neanderthal in red. So I don't know if it's necessarily just specifically Neanderthal. You might be able to just say Neanderthal. Maybe. Axel says, my commander is Magda Brazen Outlaw. I do not know that commander, but he sounds cool. My message needs to be checked by the mods. I think the... Oh, yeah. I don't know. Try just saying Neanderthal. See if that comes back as a potential bullying. Maybe. I promise I won't ban you for bullying. Twitch can be very not great sometimes. 748 to 56. $7.48 and 56. You are 960, 56. Oh, there we go. 960 and 56. Cool. So that should be everything for... Oh, good heavens. Actually, that should be fine. I actually prefer that. NGL. Yeah, that works a lot better, actually. Okay, next line. Wow, okay, yeah. So you can just say Neanderthal, but if you say you Neanderthal, well, that's because you are directing it at me. But if you just say Neanderthal in general, then it's not bullying. So weird. So bizarre. Do not know. But that's so weird, because then it says Moodwood Games added permitted term you Neanderthal. Maybe now that I've permitted specifically you Neanderthal, maybe now it'll work if you say it in a message. Try it one more time. Let's see what happens. I feel like we're having to like teach Twitch how to not be weird. Love those sounds. 536, 140. 536, 140. Okay, there we go. $748, 140. 748, 140. Why are we calling people Neanderthals? That is so weird. I don't understand why it keeps banning that. We're calling people Neanderthals because it was a bit that Nick was doing, and for some reason we then realized that Twitch considers calling someone a Neanderthal a bully, considers it a bully. So yes, we're trying to figure out exactly what part of it. So you can say the word Neanderthal, but you can't say you Neanderthal. It's the joys of Twitch, I suppose. The joys of Twitch. All right, and then last but not least for this line, we've got right here, which is 960, 140. 960, 140. Go to end, delete, go. Wait a minute. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh yeah, that would make sense. Yeah, okay. I threw myself off there for a little bit, but I'm back. I'm back. For some reason, I was thinking there were 3 spell slots and 3 spells, but there's not. That's any indication of how much my mind is losing it right now at this hour. 536, 224. 536, 224. Now that I think about it, I think I should just be able to do... I come over here. We should just be able to say... So 536 is now 748, 224. Which means you would be 960, 224. Yeah, so 536, 748, 960. 536, 748, 960. Cool. So that would mean you are 536. Okay, so what would be 224 minus 140 is 84. So if we say 224 plus 84 is 308. 308. Nope, that's 208, 308. Okay, then that would mean you are 748. Excuse me. I had to sneeze there for a second. But I'm back. So you would be... $960, huh? All right. 960, and 308. Cool. So, as long as that is all correct, let's come in here. Should be able to do visit the Mage Guild, spellbook. Got your dice here. Cool. Now, I can't necessarily put anything where I would like, but if I do that, then we go save, and if we do visit Mage Guild, spellbook, it should put those there and there. Cool. It doesn't look good when you're doing stuff here, but we're gonna get there. Okay, so if we do save, visit the Mage Guild, spellbook, should put everything in order. There we go. Okay, we're making progress. We're getting there. We're getting there. Let's see here. 4 times flagged. I think your stuff is just bugging out. I didn't hear my random sound. Wait, what? That's not good. This one? Is that not playing? Maybe. It might be a little bit bugged out. But also, it sounds like you gotta go. See you, man. Thank you for being here. I appreciate it. Hopefully, we'll see you on the next one as well. I'm also not getting my 5 min mana. Man, it sounds like the whole system is just bugging out right now. Loki says, just updated my compiled list of game keys I have from bundles I won't play, and am at 603. Definitely need to figure out some sort of giveaway or maybe channel reward. There you go. It's not a bad idea. It's a good thing you're keeping track of your keys. I feel like I have a lot of unused keys that I just have forgotten over the years. Probably should go through and find all my keys. Cool Man Chill says, I remember this one video about Ultra Kill in the main character, which is a robot, kept getting called a Nikon. I believe that's how you spell it. Oh, like a camera? I think that there is a limit. That's stupid because I am 10 away from text-to-speech and I have been waiting to do a funny. Well, that's kind of frustrating. I don't know why it wouldn't be working. I used to use barter to trade games, but it's been shut down. I don't think I've ever been heard of that service. But I'm assuming it's one where you could, like, trade, you know, keys back and forth. Which is kind of cool. Control says, YouTube don't care. That's fair. That's fair, Control. That is fair. Okay. So what do we need to do first and foremost? Good question. First and foremost, we need to... we need to have it erase these dice when you click save. We also need to make it so these don't highlight here. Whoop! Did you hear that one? Hopefully you did. Loki says, yeah, you would make offers on what you have with what someone wants, and if they accept, you connect on Steam and trade keys. I feel like that's kind of a fun way to go about it. I can understand why something like that would get shut down, but it's still a good way to go about it. Okay. So yeah, so I think first and foremost, what we need to do is when we come over here, we're going to say, erase the images. But I think these are different images. So, yeah, they are. Well, so it shows this as being like as save. But it's technically just this here. So what images are being shown right here? So show image layer 50 through 61. Okay, so I think we can just set this to be 50 through 61. So at that point, we should be able to come over here and do visit the Mage Guild, spellbook, And then if we do save, it should erase these images. Which it does. Cool. Next up, though, we need to, down here, grab this over here. So if you leave, let's turn off Safe Room Spellbook. Safe Room Shop we don't need. Safe Room Quest we don't need. Okay, so just turn all those off. So with that, you should be able to come in here, go to the Spellbook, should show all this stuff, and then if you do save, it should get rid of all that. Which it does. I don't know why it's showing all of this stuff, and then when you do that, it gets rid of all of it. Is it turning off the UI?
Dominating.
I heard that one. I hope everybody else did too.
Chemistrinic just redeemed stretch.
We got another stretch here, huh? I can go for another stretch. Here we go. Over to this side. And back the other way. Ooh. And backwards. Man. Ooh. Every time, I feel like it's hurting my back, but then I sit back up and I'm like, that actually felt really good on my back. Thank you for that. Thank you for that stretch. Or should I say, stretch? Nick says, I could do it 17 more times. Holy smokes. It's a good chunk of points you got there. It's not bad. Not bad at all. Okay. Oh yeah, that's what we were doing. So we've got the UI, right? Which, okay, so from here from the beginning, okay, so we got, oh, okay, so we're not even showing anything here, technically. Okay, then you visit the Mage Guild, and then when you do Spellbook, it is now showing that because it's showing, okay, all right. That makes more sense. So it's not a bug, I just need to fix it eventually. Nick says, I think raids give you more mana, but I don't know how they work. Yeah, the raids, they do give more mana. I think for everybody who goes to the raid. Yeah, we can give it a try. We absolutely could raid someone tonight. I feel like I am horrible at finding people to raid. We're gonna give it a try. We can give it a try. Okay, so now we just need to rearrange where all of this is actually showing. So if we go F12, let's turn this to not full screen. All right, so now let's hide everything that we don't need. Okay, and we've got over here, we've got damage 1. How are we gonna show this again? It was gonna be... It's gonna be the spell name. Yeah, spell name, and then the damage. That's right. We're also going from left to right. There's that. Okay. I believe what we're gonna do something like 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. So it was 3 pixels from the edge. Yes. Okay. We do damage 2. Oh, that's right. We also want to do this as left. 4, 1, 2, 4, 1, 2, 4. The third damage to the left. And last but not least, the last damage. Oh, we want you left to right. Trying to get that just right, can be a little complicated, a little tricky. Okay. I think that looks good. Then we've got room for the spell names up here. Yeah. Now, why those spell names are showing or not showing, I don't know. I think it requires one more switch. So over here in the safe room, spell book turns on rename spells. I think that's what it's going to require. Over here. Oh, so that already turns it on. Okay. So what is it requiring then? Oh, wait, maybe it's actually showing. Okay, I think I know what the problem is now. So over here, we've got the naming spells. So if we copy that, go into town, we paste that there. This is the actual naming spells event. So now if we come in here, Mage Guild, Spellbook, there we go. Pyro, Geo, Necro, Hydro. Okay, there we go. There we go, we got it. Let's hide everything else. Okay. Okay. We're gonna have to figure out exactly how we're gonna do this. Because right now we base this off of using 3 different names. But I think we only need the 2. Gonna go across. Yeah. Alright, so first and foremost, let's set this to 200. I'm gonna set this to left aligned. I'm gonna cut that and just be like, this is test text. Okay, so let's do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 11, 12. 13. Okay, so we can do roughly 12 characters per line. But I'm probably going to make it so you can actually do more than that. Okay, yes, let's do like 220 maybe? Everett Michaelis says, YouTube randomly played your stream on autoplay for me, and I've been listening in the background for the past 2 hours. You got a super good vibe, man. I wish you luck on your game. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. I'm happy, first of all, that YouTube would autoplay the stream, and I'm also glad you didn't click away. But yeah, thank you for that. Try to go for a good vibe, and yeah, hopefully it hasn't been too excruciating of a 2 hours for you. But yeah, so, well, if...
Chemistrinic says, did you know that there is more fish in the water than in the air? Thank you for listening to Captain's Obvious Streamly Facts.
I appreciate that one. But yeah, Everett. Yeah, so thank you for being here. If that's your way of saying I've been here, but I'm leaving now, then I appreciate the couple hours you were here and listening. And yeah, hopefully you have a great rest of your day, / evening, / wherever you may be in this world. And yeah, I appreciate it. But yeah, Nick, now there's a fact. There's a fact that I actually did know the answer to. But I still appreciate you sharing. Okay, so still roughly there-ish. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. 13 characters. I think that should be enough. I think that should be good enough. Let's figure out exactly where we're going to put this thing. Yeah, there-ish. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4. Okay. We paste that in there. Actually, no, let's keep that as W's. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Fresh. And then Pyro. We want to do the same thing. So it's going to be 220 left aligned. 220 left aligned. Go. 4. Okay, there we go. Cool. Let's get the actual width for what we're going to be able to do. That would probably be the best. That'd be the best idea. So let's do 12 and then over. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4. So 204 pixels. All right, cool. 204, fresh. Of course, we got to align it again. Not the end of the world, though. And then over here on the W, 204, fresh. All right. That's still roughly 13-ish characters. All right. Cool. So that means we should be able to then go in and delete this name. I worry, but I think we should be good. Nick says, achievement idea. You get them all? Get all spells and combinations, including dice level. That is the idea, something like that. But I'm guessing that's the an intentional stutter or something like that. Is that because I stutter sometimes? I wonder now, because I don't know if anyone remembers when we, like a couple weeks ago, I guess it's been a few weeks now, when we got just like randomly like 200 people watching on YouTube. I wonder if it was the autoplay that actually had people come over here. Because I was so confused as to why just out of nowhere, for a few of the streams, we just had like hundreds of people suddenly start joining. And no one really seemed to chat. And then just out of nowhere, it all kind of seemed to not have people come back. I wonder if it was just the YouTube autoplay. It's a good time. Good times. Okay, so we've got Actor 11 profile, Actor 11 nickname, and then Actor 11 name. Okay, all right, that makes sense. Okay, so let's get rid of this one so we can delete that. Okay. Yeah, I think that should be good. Chemistry Nick. Sometimes I will just say your full username, so I apologize, Nick. It was JBlow, I think, on Twitch. That's true. Well, yeah, so we did have JBlow raid a few weeks ago, and that did boost Twitch up to like 220-something people for a very short amount of time. But no, over on YouTube, there were a couple streams where, you know, because usually, you know, our usual numbers are right around like the 10, 11, 12-ish people watching. And then I've had a couple times where it jumped up to like 30 or 40 and I was just like, holy crap. And then, yeah, just for like 2 or 3 streams, it was like we would have a concurrent like 230 people watching and I'm just like, what the freak is happening? And then it kind of, you know, it dropped back down again. I was like, no idea why that happened. And it's probably just because of a YouTube autoplay, which hey, if it's bringing people over here, that's all I care about. If you mess IDC, sometimes my parents and friends confuse me with brother. Wait. Oh, if you mess, I don't care. Sometimes my parents and okay, that makes more sense. Control says, yeah, it was like 2 or 3 streams in a row. I think it was crazy. It was very crazy, very unexpected too. And I was like, it's time. It's finally happening. I'm blowing up. This is gonna happen. And then we went back to our regularly scheduled numbers, which is absolutely fantastic. But I was very confused for a few weeks. I was like, why the freak did we get like hundreds of people for a couple streams? That would make sense. That would make absolute sense. Okay, so we got that working now, which is good. Now we just need to get the other ones. Shouldn't be too bad. So yes, we got the width of 204. and then the alignment. Let's come over here. Let's cut that. I'm just go that. So then the width of 204, alignment of left, fresh. Go over to here. Yeah, that should be. Yeah, trying to get this thing all lined up is just so too much. Yeah, I think that should be good. Geo. Here we've got four. Oh crap, no. Left aligned, 204. Now we gotta recenter that. There we go. And then come back up here, paste that, refresh. Cool. And delete this one. Got you. Let's cut that. Go a bunch of W's. 204. Left aligned. You to there. And you be 204, left aligned. You are going to be that. All right, we are almost there. We're so close. Let's delete that one. You, cut that. W's, be 204, left aligned. You are going to be 204, left aligned. For you. Alright, then we delete this one. Okay. That looks a little bit better. Just a little bit. Let's see. I think the last thing we're going to work on is just making it so these highlights don't actually happen on this page. I'm also thinking there's a lot of space down here. And I'm just like, what can we use this space for? I don't know. I don't know. That's okay. So let's come back over here. I'm gonna have to change a lot of this stuff. Oh well, we'll get there eventually. That'll come into play later. So over here. So I think what we need to do is if switch 43 is on. So conditional branch, if the switch 43 is on. So here's the thing. Yeah, we can get rid of the highlight, but we also don't want them to do anything. So maybe what we need to do is actually just do I think what we need to do is just say when you go to spellbook, don't turn any of these on until later. We're going to cut that, come down here to the bottom, and here at the end, turn that on. Yeah. Yep. So that way on safe room spellbook, if that is on, so 43 is on. So let's do new page. Safe room spellbook is on. This one, parallel process. And we're just going to use this last one here. And you're going to be save. Don't turn this off until all of this is done. Paste that there. I already have that running, so you don't need that. UI instance, set it to 0. We could also just set this back to 2. Yeah, that's what we're going to do. Set it back to 2. Should be able to copy that. Well, no, because we'll just set it back to 2, do all that. Okay, cool. So we should now be able to, when we come in here, we go to the Mages Guild, and if we open up the spell book, none of those should work except for this save button. And if we do save, should switch back to this. Old dusty books fill the shelves. Crap. I need to fix that. Nick says, if a royal member flushes the toilet, this is considered a royal flush. Yes, I believe that's how that works. You are correct. That is a royal flush. Oh, Nick. I think what we actually need to have happen. Crap. Yeah. Okay, this is the one we need. Yes. Show that one. Cool. So I get all your chips. Every single one. Every single chip I have, they're all yours. No questions asked. Just don't question why you don't get any chips. Because I have none. I have none to give. If we come over here to the spell book, there we go. It pulls up the spell book. Everything should be in order and in place. Save. Should take us back to this window here. Old dusty books for, okay, there we go. Cool. Then the only other thing left, aside from making it so you can actually upgrade your spells, come over here. We then want to say, you hover over, it's no longer empty, so you got inventory, current quest, spell book. So we don't want to show you at that, we want to show you at 255. I just think that should literally be the only thing I have to change. So if you come in here and go to visit the Mage Guild, spellbook, there we go. Now you can be like, oh yeah, we want to go to the spellbook. Pull all of this up. Cool. Okay, so, and then you can do save and then you're good to go. Yeah. Okay, the only thing I want to change actually is this. So I don't want it to be all the way at the bottom. So let's do that. And let's grab you, place you with that. Yeah. There we go. Now the save should be up higher. So if you do visit the Mage Guild, spellbook. Crap. Forgot to change where it says save. Go. Change that to up here. There we go. Much better. So now if we come in here, Mage Guild, spellbook, save is right here. Yeah. And then here you will have the actual dialogue here, kind of telling you what you should be doing. So, you know, for example, we would say something like over here. I don't know. your spell book is your best friend if you're too long. Going to make it out of the tomb alive. Mix and match the different elements to discover new, more powerful spells. Yeah. There's guild, spellbook. Here we go. Kind of tell you what's going on. You got your save button here. Now again, this is not... If I put the dice somewhere here, there we go, here. I don't know why I can't. Anyway, but if I save and then come back to the spell book, it's now lined up properly. I don't know why it's not letting me merge, because this should technically be merging this dice into this dice. So I don't know why it's not letting me do that. Oh well. But yeah, so as you can see, it's not exactly perfect because, well, I need to actually align these things properly. But if we leave and come back, it then aligns them properly when it's showing them. So we do need to actually make it so that it will show the dice, so you can actually align the dice. Let's come in here. Mage's Guild is almost done. So let's just make it so you can drop dice into the correct spots of the spell. Yeah. Shouldn't be too bad. Should not be too bad. Anyway, well, cool. Yeah. It's not perfect, that is for sure, but you can finally now get back to your spell book and you can start kind of setting your spells back up again. Again, not great. Definitely more work that needs to be done, but at least it's there. I have no idea what's going on there. Oh, I think it's because I upgraded this. I changed this one. Oh, okay. That would do it, I think. Yeah, because if I come over here, that actually merges. Okay. Then if we go to spellbook, yeah, you got 2, 3, 2. Okay. Yeah, because if I come over here and I try to merge, oh yeah, I can't pick those up. If I come over here and I try to merge this, it merges correctly, but then it moves it in a weird way. Yeah. Not actually correct, but kind of correct. Yeah, so we just need to actually update that, and then we should be good. So. Oh wait, Nick said all good things have to come to an end, so bye-bye. I am so sorry that I did not see that for 5 minutes. Nick, thank you for being here. I appreciate it. Yeah. Wait, Nick. I thought you wanted to be here for the raid. I mean, if not, that's fine. It's fine. I just thought you wanted to be. Anyway, so yeah, cool. Well, we've got that kind of stuff figured out. So now you should be able to upgrade your spells again. Roughly. It's just a matter of actually getting it to where you can actually place them in the correct spots and having it move the pictures to the correct spots. That'll be on the next stream. We should be able to get that knocked out pretty quickly because it's all there. All the logic is there. It's just a matter of actually making it do it. Yeah, like right here, the spellbook. So all of the stuff is here. It's just a matter of changing the coordinates. And yeah, it shouldn't be too bad. Shouldn't be. But anyway, well, I think we're going to call it there just because, I mean, we've only got like 15 minutes left. But I can't think of anything really small for us to start work on that would actually be able to be done before the end of the stream. So I think we're probably going to call it there. But I appreciate everyone for being here, for hanging out, having a good time. It's always absolutely fantastic. And yeah, I will we'll leave it there. So thanks again. Appreciate you all being here. And hopefully we'll see you all here on the Thursday stream. So enjoy your day tomorrow, and we'll see you then. And until then, take care. Hopefully everyone has a fantastic evening or day, afternoon, morning, wherever you may be in this world. Yeah. Also, Control, thank you for being here. I appreciate that. Thanks for everyone for chatting. I feel like my outros sometimes are just absolutely horrible. We're going to move on. We're just going to say farewell, good night, good luck, have fun. We'll see you on the next one. Yeah. Okay, bye.